Nahida, and I'm just going to do a quick audio check to make sure you can all hear me. Give me 1 second. Trying to make sure my video is loading properly. Hello? Trying to make sure my video is loading properly. Okay, good. It looks like it is. Alrighty, so with Nahida, oh my gosh, so 3.2 is live, and all that jazz. Big day. It's how do I start off with this? Well, like I said, pulling for Nahida, gonna be pretty cool. Let me adjust to my big screen. So let's just go to her wish thing here. Start off. So pulling for Nahida today, to kind of start off as a prerequisite or whatever. I know it says I have 310 here. I don't technically have 310. That's 310 minus 180 because I'm a big Baizu fan, and so excuse me. So I am saving a bit for Baizu, but to make sure I will get a guarantee of him no matter when he shows up, what my pity is, so on and so forth. But with my pity right here, which is at 49, and the 130 I have, basically I'm at 179. So Nahida will be coming home today, so there's that. Excuse me, but it's a little gloggy this morning. But the important thing, oh gosh, give me 1 second, please. Okay, sorry about that. A little bit of groggy got in my throat. But anyway, what I was saying was, so I have 49 pity, and also I have the 130 fates. So Nahida will be coming home today. But the question is of when she's going to come home, if I'm going to win the 50-50 the first time, because I don't have guarantee, and, all that jazz. I'm hoping she comes home, obviously, and I don't lose the 50-50 the first time, because I am trying to save for some other characters and stuff. But I just, I saw Nahida, and over I mean, I wasn't like upset about her design or anything originally, so there was no problem with that. But it's like, before it kind of started off as, oh, she's just a cute little girl, right? I have Klee and Chi-Chi and stuff, and it's like, oh, she's just a cute little girl. And then as the time kind of progressed, I was like, oh my gosh, she's like the nicest person in the world, and she's in a horrible situation. We gotta save her. So, which you could kind of tell as Mihoyo is like leading us in that direction. So, kind of interesting bit about that. But to just talk about the banner for itself. So we got Nahida here, of course. And then the 4 stars are Bennett, Razor, and Noelle. And I was a little worried originally because I know that C6 Bennett, everybody is like, oh no, C6 Bennett, because of the fact that I believe his last constellation turns all of everybody else's attacks into pyro. So it was kind of like, before C6, he is a booster for everybody. And then after C6, he's like, it puts a little bit of a kibosh on, like, I guess, elemental reactions and stuff like that. So I know there's people who have like Bennett and they have the 6th constellation for him, but they never activate it, and then they have this big red exclamation point circle on the character window, and I'm like, that's gonna drive me crazy. So, But the thing is, I checked. I only, I think, have a C2 Bennett. Let me check here. Let's see, characters. I actually don't use Bennett very much, which I know you're probably like, oh my gosh, how can you be playing the game without Bennett? I mean, I have him at level 70, but I don't know. I just have, I guess, a different little play style. But but yeah, if we look at his constellations, he only has 2, so I need to get at least 3 more, or no, 4 more in order for that whole thing to pop up. If it happens, I'd probably... Yeah, it's funny. It says Sword Claim or Polar wielding characters get Pyro damage bonus, and their weapons are infused with Pyro, but it doesn't happen for Catalyst users. So technically, if you had Bennett with Catalyst users, maybe it would work. But you have like that, and then for Noelle, I also have her at 2 constellations. So there's that, and so she's fine. Not that Noelle would have a problem with becoming C6. It'd be perfectly fine. And then Razor only has 1 actually. So this is a pretty good time of filling out some of these guys. I'm assuming I'm going to be getting quite a few of them because, you know, I have 49 pity, but like I said, I'm not guaranteed. So if I lose the 50-50, then it's going to be like, okay, now we'll keep rolling. But we're going to check that out. And, but first, what I want to do is, or I should say what the plan is. So first what we're going to do is... Let me jump over here. We're going to be watching some of the Nahida videos from Mihoyo and some of the animations to kind of get a little hyped, and then we'll pull for Nahida and see if we get her, which we will. It just depends on when and how much my savings are wrecked by the time it's over. And then I'm going to hopefully do some of the story, and well, technically we'll do the videos. We'll pull for Nahida. I'll go fight the Dendro Hypostasis to get some of her level up materials, and then we'll go on and we'll do some of the story, because I have been pre-farming for her a little bit, but of course you can't pre-farm the boss because they wasn't existing yet. So we'll take a look at that. But let me bring up my videos. I have a whole little playlist for this. Basically, this is the stuff that has made me want to pull for Nahida. Originally, I was going to bypass her because I was like, oh well, Dainsleif's coming and Baizu and stuff like that. But then, as the time progressed, she just got, you know, she grew on me very, very quickly, and she's a good girl and everything. It's funny because I've never felt really the need to super protect any of the little girl characters. I mean, I know when let me see, let me adjust my sound over here actually. When I got Klee, right, because I ended up getting Klee, and when Klee gets hit, she cries, and it makes me feel really bad. So I'm like, oh no, Klee! I felt a little bit bad for Klee being put in solitary confinement until I figured out that she was basically because she was accidentally bombing things. So that was a little bit of a problem. But let me go into my audio here. Oh, it's already down at 1. Okay, never mind. Well, actually, I'll put down all the way for right now, so that we can watch the Nahida videos without noises in the background. But let me just adjust here. I actually haven't seen her collected miscellany yet. I put it on the list to kind of say like, oh well, let's see what she could do. Maybe we'll watch this one after, or we'll watch that one after we get her. Maybe, but let's see. Alright, so let me just adjust here, and then I'll show you my screen. Okay, put that in theater mode, and we're going to change the capture. Okay. Alright, so here we go. So this is actually what made me want to pull for Nahida. originally, because like I said, she was kind of like, oh, she's a cute little character and stuff like that, and it was great, but I wasn't really like, oh, going for her or anything. And then this came out during this video came out during the anniversary, the Genshin Impact second anniversary. So let's take a look at this, because it's super cute, I will say, and it's done by Comda. So, and they do really good art, or animations. So, right, let's look at this.
最近忙吗？也不说打个电话。哦，是吗？原来没给过你号码，但这不是你不找我的理由。下次发你陪我喝到太阳出头。就算不太了解我，也不要刻意躲。最近新学了什么？有空来接个座。
我，你人到了便好。
摊开手心叠起前面4个手指头，再重复3次暗示你要常来看看我。把你最近的烦恼和傻事都说一说，我不会嫌你啰嗦，顶多嘲笑你笨笨的。
一定要带礼物来的话，我要
高山上采的花，蒲公英芽的酒，段子牛奶莲花酥，这些甜甜的都可以哦。听说你的创意料理水平还不错，
我要
别害怕别害怕，我分量挺小的。
罢了，你人到了便好。
摊开手心叠起中间3个手指头，旋转到耳边暗示你要常常联系我。
想找人聊聊的话，不妨来老地方叙叙旧。
摊开手心叠起前面4个手指头，再重复3次暗示你要常来看看我。
Back to zero mode. I realized I was covering up part of the screen on the side, but there you go. So like that's the one that made me kind of go, I kind of want to pull for her, right? Because it was so cute, and it's actually interesting because that video actually kind of wants me to or makes me feel like I want to pull for the Ryan Shogun as well, because I don't have her on my game. I've tried to pull her, but she didn't come home. So if when Nahida comes home today, she's actually going to be the first Archon I get that's come home on their first banner. Because I didn't get Venti on his first banner because I was a new player back then. I really didn't have enough to even get up to pity. So I missed him. And then when I tried to go for Zhongli, I got beat up by Mona the first time. And then I got beat up by Chi-Chi the second time. So, and then I think the third time I just like completely had to skip him because I was saving up my 180 for Baizu. And because they said, oh, he's going to come in April. And it was like, and that was like April last year. So it was like, and it didn't happen. But we had that whole thing. And so that was a big mess. So if Nahida, and then I should say, and then I did try to pull for Raiden. I pulled a couple things, but I didn't get her either. Again, I was kind of saving. So, but let's take a look at this next one. This is the character teaser for Nahida from Mihoyo itself. With the happy birthday one. And this, I will say, it's a good marketing point to kind of like be putting on people's emotions for Nahida, because it's like Nahida is not just a cute little girl, and she's not even just a cute little girl who knows what she's doing. She's a cute little girl who knows what she's doing, who loves her people, who wants to help, who has low self-esteem because and the whole reason why is because she's been under house arrest for 500 years and been neglected. And it's just like, oh my gosh, this poor girl. Well, I don't know, the need, the womanly or motherly need of to scoop her up and protect her. I guess parently need, to scoop her up and protect her and and take her off to see the world because she's been in jail unfairly. Is like, it's really strong, which you will see why in these videos.
When I woke up, I was riding in a flower carriage. I just had a dream. I dreamed it was my birthday. In the dream, the Knight of Flowers and his retainers found me. Oh, Archon, we finally found you. The people can't wait to meet you. The Sub-Zero's festival began, and everyone smiled as they gathered around me. Finally, I got back on the carriage and waved goodbye. When I woke up, I was riding in a flower carriage. I just had a dream. I dreamed it was my birthday. In the dream, the Knight of Flowers and his retainers found me. Oh, Archon, we finally found you. The people can't wait to meet you. The Sub-Zero's festival began, and everyone smiled as they gathered around me. Finally, I got back on the carriage and waved goodbye. When I woke up, I was riding in the flower carriage. I just had a dream. I dreamed it was my birthday. In the dream, the Knight of Flowers and his retainers found me. Oh, Archon, we finally found you. The people can't wait to meet you. The Sub-Zero's festival began, and everyone smiled as they gathered around me. Finally, I got back on the carriage and waved goodbye. When I woke up,
Child abuse.
I was riding in a flower carriage. It was my birthday.
Ugh.
Happy birthday, Nahida.
Gotta get her out of there. But So that was one of the things I was like, okay, yeah, we definitely got to free her. And then we just had this one. I think it came out what 1 day ago. So we have this one too. This is showing some of her attacks. The R&Rs are so
Are
cute.
you ready? 3, 2, 1. Ah, I spy a new friend.
So cute. So yeah. I know when I showed my brother this, I was like, oh look at this, it's so cute. And then he got to the end, and he's like, oh gosh darn it, of course. You know that of course they would have the sad part at the end. But we're gonna watch one more before we do the pulls, and this one I thought was really funny because I love this one also is done by oh, let me play through the rest of this first. I'll let it jump over. Okay, so this one, I think this is really funny because it's kind of one of those things that with Nahida, it's like the sages are not only keeping her imprisoned, but they also are like preventing the people of Sumeru from really knowing about anything about her, because like they are more or less controlling the Akasha. So like when we show up in the game and we're like, oh, Akasha, tell us about Lesser Lord Kusanali. It's like, oh, it's all very respectful knowledge, but there's nothing in there. You know, it's like they're treating her like, I guess like Mondstadt was unfortunately having to treat Venti in the sense of, oh well, he's not, you know, the Barbados hasn't been around for a while and stuff. I mean, it was because he was sleeping, but you know, but they had to basically say that they still honor him and they still feel him in the wind and everything, and so they still know he's there, but he's not like there physically. And then of course he is there physically, but I think this one's just really interesting because it kind of shows the idea that once it's brought to the people of Sumeru's attention, they're kind of like, you know, oh my gosh, Nahida's so cute, we must avenge her, and we got the Nahida army, which we're all kind of joining now for those of us who are pulling on her because we're like, must save the child. So, alright, so let's take a look at this. Get hyped. All right, so that's what we're gonna do. All right, so let me change back over to the game. Okay, so let me adjust the sound a little bit so we can hear it. Because I don't want it to be too loud so you guys can still hear me over that. But, alright, so, like I said, one more thing. So Pity's at 49. My party, this is the welcoming Nahida party, okay? Because I thought about putting Sumeru characters in, but then I thought, well, you know what? Let's put some of the Archons in. So we have the Traveler, of course, and then we have Venti, who's all about freedom, so he's here to help us break her out. And then we also have Zhongli, who's the Archon. Like I said, I don't have the Raiden Shogun, so Ye is filling in for her, which makes kind of some sense because Ye seems to fill in a lot for Ye Miko. I mean, even in the main story quest, when we got to the point where like the typical ask the Archon questions about our sibling, we end up going through Ye or instead of A, so that's a kind of interesting part. But that is my team for the Welcome Nahida group, and we are actually standing right in front of the door, so we're going to bust her out of there. Like I said, it is, I mean, unless my luck is so bad I don't get her in 179 pulls, which would be utterly ridiculous. But let's take a look and see how we do here. Okay, and like I said, we have a 49 pity, and I actually don't have 310 fates because 180 of those are saved for Baizu, so I actually have 130, so we can roll 13 times and for 10 rolls and see if she comes home. Okay, so all right, so let us go. I'm actually kind of nervous. It's funny because I have her guaranteed, but I'm nervous. All right, so this will be 49 pity, and this will be 59 pity. I know it's kind of weird. All right, here we go. Okay, it's pink. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, and we got a Favonius Codex. Yeah, and I know there's a skip button. I could have done a skip button too, but I kind of like to see what I get because I wouldn't want to be like, ooh, skip, and then suddenly it's like, oh, you also got Kujo-Sar or something, which is another one of the 5 stars that I don't have that I'd like. But okay, so we got one Favonius Codex. Okay, and so now we're going to 69 pity. Okay, another pink. I think this one should be one of the 4 stars on the banner since we just got the codex. Up, there's a Razor. So good, now he's C2 as well. Because I had Noelle who's C2 and Bennett who's C2 and now Razor's C2 too. C2 2. Oh, I should have held my words. Now he's C3. So double the puppers. That's kind of cute. All right. Okay, so that was 69 pity, right? So this should be about 79 pity. So we're getting up into soft pity now. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's see. Okay. That's like, all right, Niguang. I know you're the hidden 5 star. That's what people call Niguang. She's the hidden 5 star. But hey, we get a consolation for her, which is great. Okay, but let's see what the 5 star is. It's funny that she showed up like that though. Yeah, if I do lose the 50-50, I really want to get Jean or Kaching because I don't have them. I have Diluc, Mona, and Chi-Chi, and they're actually all at C2. So I'd like to get Jean because I have no Jean or Kaching if I lose the 50-50 here. Oh my gosh, there she is! I can't believe I won it. Oh, it is so awesome. Oh. I mean, I wasn't hopeful because, like I said, I didn't have a guarantee or anything. But oh my gosh, Nahida! Oh, that's awesome. And that's really awesome because now I have that other stuff saved for Al Haytham because, or maybe Raiden because I was thinking. But there she is. Aww. Yay! We get her out of there. Take a picture. That's so cute. And the Guang comes along to help out. That's adorable. Okay, wow. And before anybody asks about, oh, are you gonna roll for a weapon? No, I have too many characters that I want in order. So I don't want to use up my fates and my primo gems right now. Maybe someday I'll roll for the weapons, but right now I'm pretty much okay with the 5-star weapons I get off the standard banner or any 4-star weapon I get. But there we go. Oh my gosh, I got her. Okay, so let me go through here. Let me put these constellations real quick. No, I'm really happy. Okay, and then we get Niguang. Okay. Oh, so she's got herself up to 4-star. And there she is! Oh, a tiny little baby. Like I said, I've never had it where I wanted to roll on for a child model as much as I wanted to roll for her. And it's getting funny because I end up having all the other child models too, because I got Klee when I was a basically beginner player, and it was really weird because I wasn't even rolling for her specifically. I was rolling for Sucrose, and she just showed up on like a one roll, and I was like, what? But oh my gosh, there she is. Okay, so let's do a little bit of leveling up for her. I'm gonna make sure I oh my gosh. Alright, so let's ascend her. Yeah, I've been collecting flowers.
I'm getting smarter.
Aww. She's so cute. And we'll pick up her. That. And yeah, unfortunately I don't have enough talent books to level her up all the way up to 90, but it's kind of the point where I'm gonna have to fight the Dendrohypostasis anyway, so. But oh, she's so adorable. Okay, and then for her weapon, like I said, I'm not gonna roll for her her main weapon, but I do have where'd it go? Yeah, this. They said the Wisses is pretty good on her, and so I'll give her that. I actually was leveling it up yesterday because I was like, oh, they say that this is good on her, so, which definitely looks like it will be. And then as for her artifacts, yeah, I have to do more. I have to do artifact grinding for her, but I kind of put it off because I was focused on getting up her talent materials and stuff. So yeah, I think I have to send her to phase 2 before I level her up. But I do have the talent books and stuff for her. Let's take a look at her profile. Oh, she's just so cute. Okay, so let's see. World in her dreams. Yep, well, not anymore. We're gonna get her out of there. But let's take a look at her story. Okay, so Greater Lord Rukkhadevata created Sumeru's rainforest and bestowed wisdom upon the people of Sumeru through the academia. Despite her departure long ago, her name is still praised in the stories told in every household in Sumeru. On the other hand, Lesser Lord Kusanali, who was whisked back by the sages to the sanctuary of Surasthana following the former's fall, has been more of a symbol, one that signifies that the protection of divinity never ceased to exist on this land. But the answers to who she is, how she descended, and what power she has are rarely known. Yeah, because they're hiding it from them. From the highest sages' vague response and evasive attitude towards people's inquiry about Lesser Lord Kusanali, the people in Sumeru deduced that they should no longer expect merciful wisdom to descend from on high as before. The Akasha, the sublime legacy left by Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, is just as handy and helpful as it has always been. What people are not aware of is that the Akasha today has become the ears and eyes of the newborn deity. Through the Akasha, she has observed every bit of human emotions and attributions. She is aware of their devotion to the old goddess, their disillusionment with their new deity, which means her low self-esteem, and the many comments of that the God of Wisdom will never come back. That is so sad. She knows in her heart that she must keep learning and growing up as quickly as she can to stand up and face the threats from the most abyssal corners of the world. That is her inevitable duty. Thus, whether she is misunderstood or unappreciated, Nahida makes no argument against it. Yeah, because she's been locked away, and I feel so bad for her. My gosh. This is child neglect. Also, too, I'm pretty sure, I mean, the sages are all like, oh, well, she's not as smart as Rukkhadevata, so blah, 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 blah. But personally, I kind of think that, politically, it was sort of like a seize of power, basically. Because when you think about it, it's like, what college runs a country? It's like, it's a college, it's a university, it's a place for learning. They are not supposed to be the ruling body of a country. I mean, technically a child shouldn't be either, but it's like, you had Rukkhadevata, and then she had to shrink, and she kind of lost her memories, and these guys just kind of used it to grab the power, which is really sleazy of them. The fact too that is that they're keeping Nahida under lock and key and then not letting anybody know about her is also super fishy. But luckily, or I should say hopefully, in this one we'll get to kick the sage's butts for doing that to Nahida. Okay, and so let's look at her voiceovers, because they're super cute.
Nice to meet you. I've actually been watching you for a long time already. My name's Nahida. I might look like a child, but don't be fooled. I understand this world much better than any grown-up. So, can we trade knowledge? I want to hear all about your travel stories. So, what would you like to know in return?
Oh, yeah. She's very interesting as a character, because it's like, yes, she is 500 years old, but she's also been like very, I guess you could say, sheltered. Actually, let me close this over here real quick. So she's also been kind of like sheltered, but like in a thrown in jail type of way. So she knows so little actually about walking the world with her own feet. So it's kind of a weird situation for her. But she's a good girl. I think also too, like, the terms grown up, and like when she says, "Oh, you want to go take a anxiety dookie," it really puts into perspective of she is kind of still a kid in a way. But it's like I said, it's weird. So, but let's continue. So,
if you're not sure what to do next, how about I take you on a walk?
Oh.
Something on your mind again? Let's work through it together. 2 heads are better than 1.
Aw, so cute.
What they say is true. You have to see the world for yourself to appreciate how beautiful it is.
Yep, that is true.
Quick, let's find shelter, where mushrooms will start growing on our heads.
That's cute. Well, considering some of the mushrooms here will attack you, I'm not putting against this.
Did you know that the sound of thunder is the prelude to new life? Soon, this land will be brimming with vitality.
That is a very interesting thing to a way to put it. I guess because you could say, because thunder is usually with a storm, which will bring rain, which will then bring life for the plants and things, as long as it doesn't rain too much. It's interesting if you put this in comparison to the Electro Archon, though, the idea that, like, oh, her thunder and what she did is a prelude to new life in Inazuma and how it's going to get better. It's kind of interesting idea.
Can you hear that? The heavens are whispering to all living things. It's time for bed now.
That is very cute. That is a very cute way of thinking about that.
The weather is lovely and warm. Things are about to start getting lively again.
Cute.
The wind never blows in the sanctuary of Sursthana. Oh, sorry. That's probably obvious to you.
Oh, gee. Oh, this is another one of those venti things. You know, it's like, this is actually kind of scary though, because they have the whole thing of Mara Javari or whatever, where the wind never blows, and it's like nothing happens. That's kind of spooky. It's like, okay, no, get her out of there.
Good morning. We should get going right away. There are too many things in this world that you'll miss if you don't get there on time.
Yep, that is true. Very punctual.
Time for a break. I'd really like a berry and mint burst. If you get one for me, I'll tell you a couple of stories about the sun, okay?
Oh, oh, all right. Like going over to Deluxe, it's you should give her berry and mint burst, everyone. That's important. Aw, I'm still kind of a little bit in shock. I did not expect her to show up. I expected to lose the 50-50 because the last one I ended up getting I was rolling for Candace and Sino showed up twice. And so I have him at C1 and I was not expecting him to show up. I'm not upset that he showed up, obviously. I'm happy about it. But I was just like, oh my gosh, that was my luck, right? I'm probably going to lose 50-50 next time. And then she decides to show up. So.
You should go to sleep now. Don't worry. I've made sure there's a sweet dream waiting for you.
Aw. That is so nice of her. Yeah, her and the Aranara, I know during the Aranara quest they give you this flower crown. And the flower crown, they say that it'll help ease your mind. So implying that the traveler has been going through some mental anguish and corrosion, which, I mean, makes a lot of sense. I mean, they've been going through quite a bit. Quite a bit of danger, quite a bit of missing their sibling and things like that. And I'm sure they're very, very stressed, even like subconsciously stressed to that point. So the fact that she's kind of helping out, it's like they're the therapist almost.
Oh, the Mere Javari?
Oh, yeah.
A place without anything at all, completely empty. Just like a Shroombore's brain. Of course I know it. It's true. I've never seen it with my own eyes. It's one of the many places beyond my reach.
Oh. Well, one of the many places, considering she can't even see the outside of the doorway. So that's kind of sad.
The things you've experienced on your journey are so much more exciting than anything I've ever learned. And now, I get to ask you about all of it anytime I want, so I can understand each and every little detail. I couldn't ask for more. Alright, let's not waste any more time. Now, where were we?
It's so nice that we get to help her, though. Not only on the idea of saving her, but also, being able to help her basically fill in the gaps of her life and everything.
Very often, only once we get hurt badly are we finally forced to face our own laziness, ignorance, recklessness, or arrogance. There's nothing to regret, though. We have no way of seeing all the possibilities that lie ahead in the future, so we have to rely on clumsy trial and error to gain knowledge. Just think of pain as the tuition you have to pay.
I guess this is the idea of, like, just because you make a mistake doesn't mean that you failed. It's just like, it's just another learning experience, as my mother would say, learning experience.
Sumeru's desert looks more desolate than the rainforest, but it's also home to an ancient civilization and supports its own stable ecosystem. One day, when it finally stops arguing with the rainforest, I'm sure that flowers will blossom there, the likes of which I've never seen before.
When it stops arguing. Oh boy. That's one way of putting it.
My past is quite monotonous. I could tell you about it, but it wouldn't be long before you let out a great big yawn, like a pufferfish taking in a big gulp of water. But curiosity is worth its weight in gold, and I wouldn't want yours to go to waste. I know. Let me tell you about all the dreams I've had.
Yeah. I know, originally when people were learning about Nahida being stuck in her cage or whatever, some people were kind of confused, because this was before the story, it was like a rumor going around. And so people were like, okay, well, is she in there on her own volition, or did she get thrown in there? Because some people were like, oh, well, maybe it's a plush, nice place where she has all the books and stuff, and she basically doesn't want to come out, that she's an introvert. And then, of course, we see the stuff, and we find out that it is horribly bare. It is literally a cage with nothing in there. I'm surprised that Nahida has not gone insane. I mean, for sitting in there for 500 years, especially when she gets to the point of being in that bubble. I mean, they say about how, you're in a bubble, you're putting the kid in the bubble, but that is like literal, way extreme. So.
Does watching you count as a hobby?
Oh.
Because everything you do fascinates me. You're traveling the whole world. Where did you come from? And where will you go next? Who will you meet? And what challenges will you have to overcome? I want to know the answers to all these questions and more. So, please don't mind me. I just want to keep on watching you all the time.
Oh. Well, the thing is, it's understandable considering that she hasn't really been able to experience the world for herself, because like I said, I'm pretty sure she kind of forgot all of her time as Ruka Devada. So she basically wakes up as this child with basically very little knowledge, and which is understandable because she's forgotten it all. Basically just like the Aranara in their story.
I think I'm good at asking the right questions and giving good answers. But I've come to realize that a lot of people just convince themselves they don't understand. The answers to their problems don't help them. It seems to me that as people grow older, they lose the courage to question things and accept the truth.
Yeah, that's true. she's what is it? Saying the T. So I was like, oh boy. Alright, what's your favorite food?
Definitely candied ajolenach nuts. I just need one little bite, and my brain starts chugging away at top speed. And suddenly, there's no problem too difficult for me to solve. The only thing you need to watch out for is... don't put the jar somewhere that's too easy to reach.
Uh-oh. Typical little kid, loves the candies.
Sea creatures are born into infinite darkness and live their lives in the depths of the ocean. It's a complete unknown to me. Ugh, eating them is like swallowing an icky storm cloud.
Oh my gosh. Wow. I did not realize she would dislike seafood that much. I saw something the other day when someone said she and Zhongli have the same taste of do not like seafood. One, because he was traumatized from it, and two, because I guess she's just plain scared of it.
May the world never forget this beautiful flavor. Thank you.
Oh, that's cute.
I really appreciate this. It tastes lovely.
Uh-oh.
How should I put this? I guess you wouldn't feed shroom-boars to a sumpter beast, would you?
Uh-oh. Yeah, yeah.
I was thinking, your birthday celebration needs to be at least as grand as the Sub-Zero's festival, so... Too much? But everyone's already done preparing for it.
Uh-oh.
Come on, let's go. Just this once. I'll make sure you love it.
Oh my gosh. Well, I will say the Traveler has done quite a bit for people. I think they do deserve, you know, to get that at least once in a while, a big celebration. I mean, considering that they've been saving people like gung ho.
I'm getting smarter.
Aw, she's so cute. Alrighty. Oh, I forgot. Here's all of her things, but well, maybe we'll look at those later. Those are the kind of ones that you end up hearing as you go along. But yay! She came out. Okay, so what? Oh, I forgot. This it's gonna click the new part. There you go. And I'm gonna give her a star because she's awesome and she deserves it. I actually only give my stars usually to my main characters, and my main Dendro is gonna be Baizu whenever he comes out. But she gets a star because she's a good girl. Alright, so let's adjust a little bit for the Dendro Cube. I have never fought this thing before, obviously.
What's our objective?
And I have not looked. Let's see.
Time to broaden the horizons again.
She's so short compared to these guys. It's kind of cute. Alright, let's try it. There she is. Take a picture. Like, aha! She has escaped. And the really, really wonky thing is that these guys would probably, if they saw her walking by, they'd be like, oh, I wonder who that little girl is. They wouldn't even realize. That is just so cute.
I haven't seen Mahamatra Sino for ages. Has he been playing cards this whole time?
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's right. I remember she can basically read people's thoughts. Even playing cards. Oh, he says something about Sino. Isn't that neat? Yeah, I think if you hold it.
I see everything.
Sky will reveal everything. I haven't seen Mahamatra Sino for ages. Has he been playing cards this whole time?
Yeah, I think what's neat about her too is like she's like the ultimate collector, apparently. They're like, we're escaping! Let's see if I can find something to collect.
These numbers don't make any sense. I can't get them to make sense no matter what I do.
Oh my gosh.
But what
just so cute. Let me see. I'm trying to find a. Oh, there's. No, that's a waypoint. I think here's some though. Yeah, that would be very ironic. I accidentally killed her the second I got her free. Yeah, no, like, no, Nahida, you are going to be walking around in a Zhongli shield. Alright, so let's see, take.
Everyone hold hands.
Oh, look at that! And it's like little grabby icon. Up, and there you go. They're obtained. And you might be thinking, oh, well, why don't you just walk over there and pick them? This one is actually really going to be really helpful for the stuff that's up, like, on a high ledge, or, for example, like, violet grass. Let me see.
I see everything.
Okay, yeah, she can direct it. I was wondering about that. It seems like she can only hold it for a certain amount of time, though. And she can't be super far away. Like, for example, it wasn't picking this up. I kind of wonder how far do you have to be away. Okay, so she managed to grab that from here. So that's pretty good, actually. Let's go down there and apply some dendro. Here we go. Oh, I missed.
Committed to memory.
Dawn, break forth!
Yep.
Solidify!
Windblade.
Yeah, this is the only problem of when you get up into the higher world levels and things, that when you get a new character, it's kind of like you almost have to raise them up to level 90 right away. Because if you don't, they look like they do piddly damage. Ooh, there's a chest. But they actually can be quite strong. Also, too, it doesn't help that I don't have any artifacts on Nahida. I would put the one artifact set that's good for her, but my Tignari using it right now, so.
Gather!
I wonder if I put her up here. Yeah, it looks like she has to be on the ground, really. Yeah, I've had my Traveler on Animo for quite a while. Oh, of course, I gotta go to get those guys. I don't know, I just got, well, I guess with my Traveler, there's a couple things about her where I always wanted to have her on my team because, you know, this is kind of her story and everything, and it would feel weird to me to not have her on there. And so even though people are like, oh, well, she's not really an actual 5-star, or she's not actually that good or whatever, I'm like, no, I want to still have her on there. And the reason why I still have her as
A reward on the road.
Animo is, oh, I gotta fix that. Oh, is because I didn't actually get a like 5-star Animo character until I got Venti, because like I said, I've been missing out on hadn't had another 5-star Animo character until I got Venti, and that was just recently. Because I mean, I've dropped a few rolls on, you know, Zhao or Kazuha and stuff, and they've never come home and everything. So, oh, we need these for Nahida. And then after that, we'll go over to the
Windblade.
they don't have this. You gotta be very careful not
This may hurt a little.
not to hit these guys with the pyro, or the thing they're gonna drop will turn into the wrong thing I need. Yeah, my brother actually just recently started playing Genshin again, and I mentioned to him, I said, you know, if you want to collect the drops from these guys, oh, there's no drop for that one. You know, make sure you check to see which drop you need, because I think these are the first enemies that actually drop 2 different drops depending on what you hit them with. And the thing is once you hit them with pyro, that's the drop you're gonna get. It's like it switches over. There's no oh well, the pyro wore off, so they should go back to what they were. It's like no, it's like once you cook the food or once you fried the vegetables, they're fried. Speaking of vegetables, I saw a thing about the Aranara, which was kind of funny, where someone said, or a couple of people were talking about how the Aranara were living vegetables.
Hey,
And I find it kind of interesting because there was one thing where they were making comments about, ooh, the pets of the Archons, and it was how, like, Venti has Devalin, and Zhongli has Azdaha, and A technically has Yaimiko, and so on and so forth. And then they got
if
to...
you're not sure what to do next, how about I take you on a walk?
Oh, and then they got to Nahida, and they were like, what's hers? And they're like, oh, it's the Aranara. And you know, like, take a picture. It's like, oh, it's the Aranara and everything, and people are like, oh, the Aranara, right? And it's like, yeah, but the thing is, you remember, is that yes, Venti, Zhongli's, and A's are all very powerful, but Nahida has an army. She doesn't just have one, she has many, and there is strength in many. I wonder if she's gonna do this idol until I move her. I expected it to kind of float away, but no, she's sitting on it. She's not going anywhere. I know she has another idol where she basically does a cat's cradle, and like sometimes it's people and sometimes it's a bird flying away. So, but yay, Nahida. He's so cute. Alrighty. So let us go to the Dendro Cube. Oh, there's just so much stuff to do. Because we have the story quest, we have fighting the Dendro Cube, wherever he went. Oh, there he is over here. Fighting the Dendro Cube. I also heard that, like, I don't know if it's in this patch, but the Teapot is apparently gonna get a Sumeru realm, just like Inazuma got a realm and everything, and it's gonna be really, really fun, I think. Let's warp over here while I'm talking. You know, it's gonna be really fun. And actually, from what I heard about it, is that you can actually just buy it with, excuse me, with realm coins. You don't have to, whatchamacallit, It's not one of those things where you have to like rank up the tree to level 50 like you did with the Inazuma one, which I have no idea how many coins it's going to cost, of course. So, I think I have like 28,000 realm coins. So if it's something like 100,000, I was just gonna be like, oh my gosh, that's a lot. Which I can get up to that, but it's gonna take a little while. Let's warp over here and check it. Like I said, I've not fought this guy, and I haven't looked at any guides or anything. On how you're supposed to fight them. So, this is going to be kind of interesting. Thing is, I can't remember if this hole was here before, or they just recently put it in. If there's a brazier? No, that brazier's a bra. Brazier. Oh, there he is. Considering he's in the desert, he does not look very dendro-y. I know there's a thing that people say about how the hypostases represent the archons. So, like, for example, Ventes is kind of chipped, or Ventes and Zhongli's are both kind of chipped because they're old.
If you're not sure what to do next, how about I take you on a walk?
Okay, but there is a part where there was a dead electrohypostasis, which kind of represents Makoto in one of the quests. I think for the Thunder Sakura. They had one in there, and now this one, and it's from where I'm standing, it looks a little burnt. So I'm kind of wondering if the burnt part is supposed to be representing Rukkhadevata, and then the green part is representing Nahida. That's an interesting aspect. And before you're like, why are you bringing Nahida in there when she's only level 40? It's because I want her to get the friendship experience. Also, too, I mean, this is her day. She deserves to be in the party. Let me check, though. How's my resin doing? Okay, I probably need to use a fresh one. I was right before the maintenance last night, I was using up my resin to get her talent materials, because the day, this is the funny thing, because the day before she came out, her materials for her talents were available in the whatchamacallit, in the domain, and the and they're not going to come back until like no stop. They're not going to come back until like Friday. So anybody who didn't do any pre-farming at all for her talents are going to basically have her stuck at her level 1 talents until Friday. So, but let me go in my bag. Let me use one of these. Yes, and the reason why I have so many is because, one, I buy the battle pass, which gives you a little extra, and two, for the longest time I just kind of played the game as running around and exploring. I didn't really worry about the using up my resin and stuff like that. So alrighty. Let us check this out.
Solidify!
Okay, so what does this say? I'm assuming it's not going to attack me while I'm looking. Alright, so a hypostasis that uses an internet shell to defend itself, it now displays abnormalities due to having been corrupted by some unknown influence. You must seize moments where its elemental core is exposed to attack effectively, like most of them. When it is in danger, it will release restorative plists that have the properties of things to use dendro to revive these plists and induce a normal state to them. to continuously cleanse the dendro hypostasis and use electro to trigger their activate state and speed up the cleansing process. Using dendro attacks on the dendro hypostasis core can also help to cleanse the creature. Complete the cleansing process to complete the challenge. Oh my gosh, so you're not killing it. Oh, maybe I should run away then. Oh, it looks like you can't hit it. Oh, I don't think that the pyro's doing anything. Oh, this is kind of interesting.
Committed to memory.
Okay, no, it is burning. I guess that one challenge thing is the whole
Order guide you. Gather.
oh gosh.
Dawn, break forth.
The Temple of Wisdom.
I do not know why I just clicked the Q.
Stabilize. Ways to the wicked.
This guy does have very neat animations, though.
Gather.
Windblade.
Flames, purge. Solidify.
Grow, grow, grow.
The only problem is I don't. Oh, look at that! We didn't kill it. It basically just it got better and then it went away. I actually like that a lot. Oh, we got 3 of those. These two, there's like these water stuff. It's like for everything. But we got 3 of those. Woo! Her running with her little T-pose. Whoop. Yay! Okay, so let's ascend her here. Click.
My mind is growing even bigger. It feels like it could fit the entire sky and ocean inside it.
Aw. We'll give you some more town books. Oh, that's it. Yeah, here she is at level 50. And we should be able to do some of these now. Unfortunately, yeah, the statistics would be telling, so I can't really tell you which ones to level up first. But, I mean, when you're going to level them up by all of them anyway. Let's do that. Yeah, because like right now I can only do it up to level 2 anyway. There we go. She's level 2. I will say I am glad though that I what you would call it, that we didn't need Electro when we were cleansing it, because I was like, oh my gosh, did I just go into this battle and not have. Alright, you know what, I'll just borrow this from Tignari for a little while. He doesn't, well actually I do have some extra stuff. I'll just equip what I have right now, and I'll go farming for better ones later. I'll borrow that Tignari.
My mind is growing even bigger. It feels like you could fit the entire sky and ocean inside it.
Yeah, this was the thing. It's like, hey sages, if you wanted Nahida to get wiser, just go fight the Dendro Hypostasis. And help us send her. Silly people. The way she kind of folds her hands and holds the people to her, you know, to her chest, and the fact that her part of her dress looks like an upside down heart, that's actually really cute, and it's also sort of sad, of course, because of the whole thing of that she loves her people. Okay, so now we're gonna try a trick that I heard. They said that in order to get the boss to respawn, what you can do is go into the test run, and then you can, and then apparently it will reset when you come back out. But of course it said do not be doing this in the middle of the arena, or you will be attacked while your computer is loading the screen. So since we need to do these anyway, let's try Nahida's, and we'll get 20 preview jobs from it, so as well. I also can see what they have on her in her trial. Like I said, I'll get better artifacts for her later. I just felt kind of weird having nothing on her. Alright, so let's take a look. What do they have on her? Okay, so yeah, I've had so many people, or I've seen so many people complaining about how, oh, the catalyst is a lamp, it's a lamp. It's like, well, I mean, yeah, it's supposed to be a magic lamp. I mean, it's literally called 1,000 Nights Dawn Song, like 1,001 Nights. So I don't know why these people are complaining. I mean, there's a couple of people too that were like, oh, well, when are we gonna get like a bowl and chopsticks and stuff? It's like, dude, really? It's like, it's a magic lamp, like an oil lamp. It's like, if anything would be a catalyst, this would be a good catalyst. But let's see. Okay, yeah, and she has these deep wood memories on here. So I'll have to make sure I farm more for those. I'm sure people who are rolling for Nahida are probably going to be doing a whole bunch of this, so I'll probably jump into a whole bunch of co-ops with people. Okay, so she's that. Her talents are level 8. Yeah, they always said the talents level 8. The level 8 talents are a pretty good goal, I think, to reach. Most of my main characters have level 8 talents. Just so they can be like, they could do decent damage. Like, it's not like huge mega damage or anything, but you know, it's enough to play the game and feel like your character's doing something. But okay, so
Committed to memory.
pretty good. That's
Make yourselves at home.
we'll do this, and then we'll
You're
do
toast.
this.
Let the show begin.
This.
Surrender an allegiance.
This.
Turn a little.
Oop. Yeah, she's got some pretty good
Committed to memory.
power here.
Sharing my knowledge. I'm seeing stars. Help!
Stop hitting her.
Eat this!
Yeah, this is why I want to have Zhongli's shield around her, though, so she doesn't get hit. And go, ee! You know, because there's some characters where you just, you know, I mean, you don't want any of your characters to get hit because, of course, they end up making, you know, like, ouch sounds. And you're like, oh no, my character, right? You know, and stuff like that. But when the little girls get hit, oh look, it worked. It reset. Normally I would have to like warp out to whatchamacallit. I would need to warp out to Statue 7 or whatever and then come back. But this is a lot easier because then it doesn't have to, you don't have to move as much. I mean, warping to the Statue of 7 helps because if for example you are whatchamacallit, if you're hurt. But in fact, you know, before I do that, I think I need to take a quick break because we've been doing this since about 2 hours. So I will be right back. Let me put you on my right back screen, and I'll see you in a second. We're gonna fight the Dendrohypostasis a little bit more to try and level up Nahida as far as we can, and then I think maybe we'll go do commissions real quick so I don't forget, and then we'll go into our story quest and we'll get to see what's going on and apparently fight Scaramouche and all that type of stuff. Alright, I'll be right back. See ya! Alright, hey, I'm back. Just had to do a few things and stretch. Yeah, I've checked, we were actually going on since, for 1 hour and 32 minutes so far, so that's pretty good. I've streamed for actually 5 hours, in one go before, and I didn't even realize it. Hopefully it won't be that long, but, hopefully you guys are enjoying watching the new Nahida do her thing. Alright, so let's go fight this guy again. He's actually not that hard, which is good. I like the ending part too, where we kind of like just heal him and not...
I will have order.
Yeah, the only thing with Diluc's burst is you have to be careful about is that... Ooh.
Flames, purge!
Is that it does take a second to go, and in that second the enemies aren't frozen, so they could very well
Solidify!
get out of the way of his burst.
The Temple of Wisdom.
Flames, purge!
I know someone said a long time ago, they were like, oh, Diluc's good if you know how to like click to cancel that or something. But I mean, personally, I like watching it, so, and I don't really care if he's doing mega big damage. Okay. Ooh, you're up. Heal.
Grow.
Ugh. Not like that, though. I guess this is just a waiting game. Because you don't actually need Electro. There we go. Let's see how many she actually needs. That was a very weird look I just saw. Let's see. Oh, okay. Oh, she needs more of these doodads. I popped her up and she
What they
looked
say
very
is true.
sad for a second.
You have to see the world for yourself to appreciate how beautiful it is.
I kind of wonder what her... I mean, none of them are going to be unlocked, of course, but... There we go. Okay, so she's got default, smiley, and pensive. Oh boy, okay. She's like, I'm gonna hang out on my chair, or on my swing until you move me. Which does make sense, because she's not really wearing any shoes. So... it's like, might as well get your feet up off the ground. I could just imagine what it would feel like for her to walk on the ground for the first time after she's been stuck in her cage for all that time. Alright, so... I guess I'll go over this one. It's closer. I don't want to go over to wherever Candace is because I'm not ready to start off the story yet. That's the only problem with, like, I don't know if it's all Catalyst users or if it's just the little girl Catalyst users. They tend to be very squishy when it comes to, like, HP and stuff, at least from my from my experience.
If you're not sure what to do next, how about I take you on a walk?
That's why Zhongli is so indispensable. I mean, he's indispensable for most things, but I mean, you saw that the dendro hypostasis hit Nahida once and she almost got killed. But then again, this is what I was saying about before with when you had the whole problem of getting a low-level character in a high-level world. And I mean, you can drop the world level, but like, for example, I'm at world level 7, but my real world level is supposed to be 8. So I've already have it dropped down, and you can only drop it down 1 level, so... But let's fight this guy one more time. Or, actually, what's my resin? Okay, let's do it 2 more times, and then I'll go put some of the fungi together so that I can ascend to heat a little bit more. And then I think we will go on to the story. We'll be working on the story, so. That.
Dawn, break forth!
I think the only one problem with Zhongli Shield is that sometimes it's hard to see. So, especially with all the extra things going around and stuff, so.
Dawn, break forth!
Which isn't, I mean, it's a little bit difficult to see when it actually
Solidify!
ends.
This is order. Stabilize.
Wingblade!
Alright, Nahida, you're up. What's nice about it is about her being a catalyst user is that she has a constant stream of dendro power.
Gather.
Yeah, Baizu's supposed to be a dendro catalyst too, so, but I think he's supposed to be, or at least they say he's going to be a healer. Oh, we got one of those big things. They say he's going to be a healer, so, which I hope for. A lot of people are, it's kind of funny because when at first he was mentioned he was going to be a healer, there was a bunch of people on Twitter who were making a stink about it. And then everybody else was going and saying, but you know,
wine tastes the same as I.
sorry, Zhongli. But then other people were going and saying things like, well, he's a doctor, you know, he's a doctor, you know, why would you think that he wouldn't be a healer? I mean, he's a literal doctor. And, but people are like, oh, well, DPS, right? Well, now, with the way the meta has been forming, we're getting so many DPS, or we're going to get so many Dendro DPS units, that it's like, having a Dendro healer would be really, really useful for the meta and everything, considering that corrosion is still a thing. Also, too, if you don't want to do bloom teams, and then or even if you do want to do bloom teams, and so they have the things exploding, you're gonna need a healer to counteract that, so you don't like die in a giant grass explosion. So let's do Yola. We'll get the 20 Prima Gems, and then it will reset the Dendro hypostasis. technically you don't have to actually finish this in order to
Here comes the fireworks.
reset the thing, but I'm gonna do it to get the Primo Gems anyway.
Fire hazard. Leave it all to me.
Here.
Festive reprise.
Of course, it would run out right when I... Yeah. The one thing I like more about with Zhongli than Noelle is just because Noelle's shield
No stone on.
has kind of a long cooldown. I mean, compared to Zhongli's, which is like 12 seconds. But then again, he is like the Geo Archon, you know? All the Archons are like really good at what they do. I think it's kind of the point of like, if you had just wanted to be an Archon collector, you would end up getting the best of all the elements. You know? Of course, it's all up to people's different preferences and their playstyles and everything like that. Because, like, some people like Kazuha a lot more than they like Venti. You know, for example. I know I was watching... Excuse me. I was watching a video... Hey, it worked. Where they were talking about of if Nahida is a must-have for your game. And the guy started off by saying, like, he's like, I'm not really sure, you know, if using the term must-have is a good idea, but if there were must-haves, it's like Nahida and Kazuha are, like, really good, apparently. But then again, like, the meta changes and things.
Stabilize. Flames, purge.
That's one of the things of that I see a lot about with Honkai versus Genshin when it comes to the whole meta team and stuff.
Gather. I will have order.
Is that with the Honkai meta, the people who talk about it are like, basically they always seem to realize that the meta's gonna change and
Solidify.
pay attention.
Lay waste to the wicked.
You know, and so a character that might not be super good in the meta right now is gonna be, it could be really good later, because it's happened before. I mean, I still kind of laugh a little.
Gather.
About Kokomi, because in the Genshin meta they made such a stink about her and her, you know, negative 100 crit, and they were all like, oh, she's horrible in the meta, don't pull for her, and blah blah blah, and then the meta changed and they put the wolves in. And then they put the meta in,
Stabilize.
and oh, it didn't reach it. I wasn't fast enough. Oh, look at that. I thought it would stay that way. Okay, so maybe this thing isn't as easy as I thought. That's what I get for not paying attention.
Gather. Lay waste to the wicked. Ha.
Make yourselves a room.
Solidify.
But anyway, so they were all talking about Kokomi's negative crit and how, oh, she's never gonna be good and stuff. And then they put in the corrosion wolves, basically.
Here.
It just needs a little tiny bit more. They put in the corrosion wolves, and everybody realized, oh, we need a really good healer. And Kokomi ended up becoming like, I think the chart I saw yesterday, let's see, was like Kokomi was like at the top of the meta. And so it's the kind of the difference between like the people on the Honkai meta and the people on the Genshin meta. The Honkai meta people are like, okay, yeah, this character is really good right now, but, you know, hold on to your other characters, you know, and make sure you train them too, because it's gonna come back, you know, and so on and so forth. Okay, so let me go over here, and I'll rank up Nahida a bit. Really? You know, well, with the, I don't know if it's the Genshin meta specifically, or if it's the people, like they call them meta bros or whatever, who they follow the meta, and like they go around, some of them go around and bash people.
The weather is lovely and warm. Things are about to start getting lively again.
The lady's adventure plans are probably on hold for good. I'm just gonna shop around for one more
Don't you
day.
remember your adventure plans, lady?
And then they go and they try to, they bash the character, and they bash people who want to pull for her. Like, I know there was quite a few people who were talking about how they were going to roll for Kokomi because she was so cute and pretty and stuff. And then suddenly the meta bros or whatever started, you know, picking on those people, and, you know, it was like, oh, well, you're just pulling for waifu, you're, you know, like it's something bad. And it was very sad, you know, because I'm like, if you want Kokomi, you should pull for Kokomi, you know. Let me see. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. This is the stuff you end up getting if you use pyro on this stuff. So let's do one of these. Excuse me. Okay, character. Let's ascend her. And level up. Yeah, we ran out of purple talent books, so let's give her what we have left. Like I said, I was pretty sure I wasn't going to be able to level her up to 90 or anything, but I wanted to kind of just level her up as much as I could. Use of the day. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 pulls.
Something on your mind again? Let's work through it together. 2 heads are better than 1.
Let's go do 2 pulls on the standard banner because we have those 2 fates. My pity isn't super high. I think it's something like around the 50s. So these are probably, and I just got a pink one a couple of pulls ago. So this is probably just gonna be fodder. But hey, might as well see. Right. Okay, yeah. So that's just a regular 3-star weapon. Yeah, when you first start playing, it's good to keep these and like ascend your weapons and stuff, because like that's all you have. But then once you get to my level, it's kind of like, okay, yeah, it's a weapon for leveling up another weapon. Okay, yeah, that's, I didn't figure anything really good was gonna come. Considering I'm sure my luck has been drained thanks to the Nahida I got from 30 pulls. I don't think the history's updated yet, though. Let me check. It's supposed to in like an hour. Oh, there it goes. It did. Oh wait, where'd it go? Oh, there it go. Okay, yeah. So my pity went from 49 to 3, to 3. But it was really good though because I get to keep that 100 extra fates that I had saved up, because I know. Let's see. Next patch is Scaramouche, and they say they might have a Raiden Shogun rerun, which I might throw a couple pulls at her just to see if she shows up, because she's also a very good unit. But then you have All Hythem who's coming, and then of course you have Baizu who's coming, which they say that it's, I don't know, it's all rumors and stuff, you know, on who's gonna show up where and when and so on and so forth. I know 3.4 is gonna be Lantern Rite though, so I was hoping that Baizu would be showing up at that point, but chances are it's not. He's still gonna be delayed again. I think by the time he comes out, it's gonna be at least 3 years. I mean, 3 years. I mean, I will have to say that I congratulate all the Scaramouche fans and everything for finally getting their for having Scaramouche, you know, drip marketing, and that he'll be coming soon for them and things. What's this guy?
I see everything.
I hope the children are doing well.
Oh, what a nice guy. What are you talking about those kids? What do you want?
Everyone hold hands.
We'd have to close the blacksmiths to treat the air, but if it gets shut down, I'll have nothing to write about for my thesis. This is so frustrating.
Oh yeah, like the blacksmith is putting out that much pollution. Considering how things are in our world, I mean, apparently with Fontaine too, that's another thing. Fontaine is going to be kind of like French steampunk, apparently, from what I've heard. And it's like, if anybody's putting pollution out, it's them. But I do know they have the whole thing with Irmisville, which I hope we get to actually save it this time. Alright, so let's see. I guess I'll stick with Diluc. I want to have Nahida in my party during the quest. You know, just because, you know, she's Nahida. And I just got her. But I'll have to see. I'm going to, well, it's kind of weird. I know we're gonna have to fight Scaramouche, but anyway. Oh, I forgot. Let's do let's do the commissions real quick too, and then we'll go back and we'll do this, just so I don't forget it. Got it? Because if I start going through this and then I get tired, then I'm gonna be like, oh wait, gotta still do commissions, and then that would be thing. So we're gonna go to Inazuma and do our commissions. It's one of the things I really like about Genshin is that you have the commissions and you get 60 Primo Gems a day from it. And if you pair that with a Welkin Moon, which is only like $5 a month, then you could basically get a pull a day. And, you know, after you've done it for a while, it builds up. I mean, I wouldn't have had as many fates for Nahida if I hadn't gotten a Welkin and been doing my daily commissions. What does Kathleen want? Hello. I was like, where's the yes, I will help you, cute kitty option? A long stick. Yeah, this is so sad for Neko, you know, because she's immortal and she's still waiting for the priestess to come back. When she says, I will wait for you here. It's like that's all she's ever done. Wait. I think we can do it with
Windblade.
With Animo. Whoops. Sorry, kitty.
Windblade.
There you go. Yeah, Hibiki. Alright. Yeah, it's kind of funny. When I first came to Inazuma, I nicknamed it in my head the Islands of Death. Because what happened was there was me, okay, and I had my level 80 Ganyu, and I was like, okay, we're going into the Electro, region. I'll be fine, right? I got my Ganyu. She's pretty strong. Whoop. And everything like that. And then I actually I got to the islands. I got ping-pong balled around so hard, it was ridiculous. Let me pick these up over here, Toma. Because unfortunately, when you mix Electro with, like, say, Pyro, it explodes. And when it explodes, it flies you every which way. And I also... Oh, wait, you guys. Did not have Zhongli at the time. So I couldn't even defend myself from it. So I'd basically just be ping-ponged balled around until I died. And that is not a good way of doing your commissions or anything like that. This is just a race one, let's just do it this way. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, that's one of the nice things though that I thought of for what they put in for Sumeru, that basically the quote-unquote hook shot points is that you don't need one of these flowers or anything in order to actually activate the hook shots. You just look at them and it activates, which is easier than the Electro ones. Yeah, I know when I came to this island, at first, you know, it was like things seemed so off, and then, you know, we helped Rue and we did all that, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, right, no big deal. Like, and then I was standing, I believe, down there, and I looked over, and there were ghosts, and I was like, I thought I'd helped you guys already. But it was just like, just standing there, and suddenly this ghost thing forms besides me. I mean, I know the thing says that, oh, it's not actually ghosts or whatever. You know, it's like, oh, ley line stuff. But, I mean, if you're standing somewhere, and, you know, you're just doing your thing, and then suddenly a human-shaped thing forms beside you, it's kind of spooky. I actually yelled, I remember. But, I actually haven't finished I wonder if they adjusted it, because it looks like they they're turning into just little balls when you approach. They used to be a full bodied, or not full bodied, but like the upper part, and they'd be like standing right next to you. Maybe they adjusted that, but anyway. Alright, let's... Anyway, but the whole Island of Death thing, it did get better after I got a little stronger, and I think Mihoyo started balancing it a little bit more. I think they had made it hard for like all the people who had already gotten through Mondstadt and Leeway and were like, oh yeah, we're all like level 90 and so on and so forth. But for the rest of us, it was kind of like, you know, this is a little too difficult. Also, they had like made some of the enemies a little too heavy, so like Venti couldn't pick them up, which is perfectly okay. I mean, he can't pick up everything, but on the other hand, it's like they were the enemies weren't even stopping, and they weren't that much bigger than the typical treasure hoarder. So it was kind of like, why are they like, they're just humans, they're not wearing armor or anything, why aren't they I wonder if she could collect those, actually. I'm gonna have to get used to her using her her collect skill for the hard to reach places.
I see everything.
I think there are a few things she can't pick up though, like Ani Kabuto, I believe. Now let's come over here. It'd be interesting if she could pick that up.
Everyone hold hands.
It might be too far away. Let's go over and see what happens. The little kids make such much splashes when they swim.
I see everything.
Yeah, look, yeah, she can't pick these up, which is a bit of a shame. But I guess it makes sense considering they're, you know, rocks / the crystallized blood of Urabashi. I feel so bad for that guy, because it's like implied that Urabashi didn't attack the rest of Inazuma because of, you know, because he wanted to.
What they say is true. You have to see the world for yourself to appreciate how beautiful it is.
They originally said that basically he discovered something about Celestia, and so Celestia drove him mad, and that's why he attacked the other island. And then why the Ryan Shogun had to, or A had to come out and you know, stop him, unfortunately. Which, considering of all the stories I've heard about her, and things, she is not the type of person you want to go to if you need therapy. Because she's more likely to just smack you down. I mean, between like Urabashi, and then you had Rue's bird friend, oh, I don't remember exactly what her name was. It's a cat something. But like her, and then like the Oni that she ended up having to slay or whatever, and it was just like, my gosh. So let's...
Stabilize. Order guide you.
What are you gonna do? The thing is, I've played with I played without Zhongli for quite a long time.
Dawn, break forth.
So I kind of got used to either dodging or
I will have order.
or just
Windblade.
Where's the last one?
Prepare to be blown away.
To either dodging or just plain taking the hits. And just rushing headlong into the fight. Alright, then the last one. Yeah, it's over here. My brother is going to roll for Nahida too, but he has like 90 something fates, and he won the 50-50 last time with Sino, so he's not 100% sure if he's going to get Nahida or if he's going to lose the 50-50 and get another character. But like I said, he just kind of started playing, and Sino is his only 5-star, so it's kind of like, no matter what happens, he's going to get somebody.
The Temple of Wisdom.
You know, he's going to get someone he doesn't have.
Gather.
Windblade.
Flames. Purge.
Yeah, they made these guys a little easier to deal with. I remember when they first came out, people were like expecting them to be more like slime-like, like sort of frustrating sometimes, but generally easy to handle. But oh boy, they were not. They were tough, and very annoying because they would float up out of the way, and then you'd just be like, I can't reach them. Alright, so let's go back over here. Yeah, let's go back over here, Sumeru. We'll pick up our... I'm kind of curious about going into my Teapot, because they didn't say anything about the Sumeru realm in the stream, but sometimes they don't tell you everything in the stream. Sometimes they leave it up as a surprise, so I kind of want to see what they put in there. I mean, apparently they finally put in the Sumeru furniture sets of like, oh, what character likes what set.
Ad Astra Abyssosk. Thank you for completing today's commissions. Here is your reward.
Okay, so let's pick up that. Oh, actually, you know what?
Ad
Considering the
Astra
battle pass
Abyssosk.
restart, I should probably start dispatching my characters on expeditions again. I like putting them on the expeditions for the like the rocks, for example. I'll put him there. Oh. Because then you don't have to worry about it when you do the whole, pick up the daily rocks and stuff, like mine 10 items. You don't actually have to mine them yourself. You can get it through expeditions. You can get it from just like picking them up from like carts. You can even buy them and it counts. I still don't understand really why they have that as a daily thing though. You know, like I can understand it being something like, ooh, pick up 10 specialties, and then it's like, oh, okay, you walk around and you pick up, different things, especially with like the Nahida, for example, which will make it really easy. But, alright, so let me go into my Teapot real quick, because I'm curious. And then once we check the teapot, we'll be able to go through the story without any problems. Or at least I won't be thinking about the teapot.
This realm is truly beginning to thrive. I cannot help but be stirred.
Oh, the realm teapot has something in it. Okay, so that's that. Yeah, I know they had with the whole new sets and stuff. So what's in here? Let's go down here. Oh, yep, they put in a lot more trees. Oh, they put those in. Yeah, because they didn't have these before. They just had like the mushrooms. Oh, like lots of little cute little flowers. Up in the desert rocks. Oh, it looks very nice. Oh, no jumping, no tramping. Oh, deserty ones. Yeah, that's very nice. It's little bushes and stuff. Yeah, because it stopped at that point. Oh, okay, so there you got the houses. Oh, there's a bed. I was a little worried, I will say, because I was checking out the battle pass before, and they had like, oh, here, if you want this bed, and I'm thinking, wait, you're not gonna give us a bed? We don't have a Sumeru bed. We got a bed for everybody else, but no, there it is. Wow, it's a lot of really cool stuff. Oh, I like this fountain. Oh, yay! They gave us the lamps. Here's this one, because I saw this lamp before, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that is so beautiful! I want to have that in my teapot." But I was like, "Oh, from what we've been finding in the in the wilderness, because that's all they gave us access to, you wouldn't really have any of those guys." And then here's the sets that you can buy. That's really good. That's gonna, but. Okay, let's see. Nature's true fruit. This fruit, brought as a memento from Sumeru by the teapot traveling sailor Chili, gives off a truly marvelous fragrance. Even with this fruit brings certain images to mind, which you can manipulate via the power of subspace creation to make the wondrous sights of Sumeru in your realm within. Nice. So there you go. So you can just buy it. Oh, here's a replica. Oh, so you can actually buy like the whole stage. Because I know before they gave us like a tiny one. Oh, that is so neat. Okay, now that I know, I gotta do this real quick. And it's only 1,000. Sheesh, I was thinking it was gonna be like 10,000 or 100,000. Let's get that and that. Oh, I'm excited. Let me, I want to buy the bed. And I'll buy this, 'cause that's really pretty. I'm gonna probably buy most, I'm gonna buy most of this eventually, but. This is a lamp? Or is it a decoration? There's a ceiling. Oh, there's the... Get one of those. Oh my gosh, I love these. These are... This is one of the interesting parts, okay? That Genshin is really good at creating scenery and stuff to invoke emotion and memories for you. And for me, sometimes when I see things like this, I get a scent, okay, that ends up being really powerful, and it's actually really nice. Like, for example, when I went to Inazuma for the first time, I was walking around in Sumeru City, or in Inazuma City, and I crossed over the little bridge that has the sakura trees, the pink sakura trees over it. And I just looked up it, and I got hit with such a scent of basically sakura flower, scent, that I was like almost bowled over. It was just like, it was just so pretty. And then for Sumeru, I actually got hit with the scent of spiced meat. When I entered the tavern for the first time, and I was looking at these guys. I don't know why. It's just something that happens to me. And because, of course, there was no actual smell, obviously. But, alright, and let me get one of these too. I could probably go through this and buy all of it, but I'm not going to bore you with all that. But I think I will go and buy all of these guys, because then I can figure out what I need for all the characters. Yeah, right now the realm I'm in is holding all of my Sumeru characters, because I wanted to get them to basically have to farm friendship points and things. But the realm I'm currently in right now is actually supposed to just be look at these two. It's only supposed to be like characters like I consider my main characters. So for things like Diluc and Ayato and Yai and those types of things.
If you ever have any questions about the realm within, you may ask me.
Because, like, for example, if you look at my companions, go over here, most of them are Sumeru characters right now. Sumeru? Whichever. But I put them in there because I was like, okay, I want you guys to be, farming friendship points, because I don't use them all on my team all the time. And, but who's supposed to actually be in here is, let's see, Venti, Yai, Zhongli, Ayato, Diluc, eventually Baizu. Let me think. Oh, Ganyu. Ganyu's supposed to be in here because this is kind of like my mix mash type of realm. I have the two other ones where one is a Mondstadt realm, and then the mountain one is a Leeway realm, and then so what's she end up over there? Leeway realm, and then the rest of them are and then of course the Inazuma realm is Inazuma, but so let's learn all these guys. Learn. There's the lamps and the meat and the fountains and all the really pretty stuff. And then we click, I guess, use. Oh, realm layout unlocked. Okay, and what does they want for this? Oh, ensure that you're following terms of service. Oh, the replication system, yeah. This is actually going to be really cool because I know with a lot of people that they do clipping and they make up some really nice sets. I could never get the clipping to work. I do not know why, but I would wiggle it and it just would never work. And so I kind of was like, well, and I gave up because I'm like, well, clipping is kind of like a thing that is sort of you can do, but sort of not you're kind of supposed to do, I guess, and so I'm like, well, they might end up you know, getting rid of clipping or whatever, or making it so people can't do it anymore. So, you know, why get used to it? They actually did have that one point where when Ayato came out and we couldn't go into our teapot for like or not we couldn't go in, but we couldn't like alter it for like a month, and it was bad. I was like, I have no idea what they were doing, because I thought originally that they were going to be like, oh, we're going to get rid of clipping or whatever, but then we came back in and everything was fine. So I mean, I guess they were just doing overall maintenance, but it's like, why is overall maintenance taking more than a month? It was like wild.
If you're not sure what to do next,
Let's see.
how about I take you on a walk?
Okay, yeah, so no racism, no sexual stuff, you know, none of that. Oh yeah, so I like this too, because it's like you can say, okay, yes, you can generate the replica from me, or no, you can't. So in that way, if you wanted to keep it all nice and you know, personal, you know, you can. You don't have to share if you don't want to. Alright, so let's switch
This
over.
realm is truly beginning to thrive.
I'll come back and adjust the characters later. But I want to go see this realm layout. Oh, look at that. It's so pretty. Just from this part. Alright, let's switch there. I want to check out the house too, because like Inazuma's house was very nice, but like in comparatively it was a little bit small, I guess some people have said. Oh, look at this. Wow. That is very pretty. That's a lot of big flowers. Oh, it's like a kind of like a tree house type of idea, I guess. Oh, it is a tree house. Oh, that is interesting. The only thing is, I'm a little worried about falling off the edge. Oh, look, here's a little cute little lake, I guess. Ah, yeah, we get wet. Oh, look how cute. Yeah, this is definitely a, it's kind of like they base it off of the one we just left, the Adepti realm. But, oh, that's really neat. I believe when the sun rises, these flowers will open too on top of that, so this is amazing. I kind of wonder if you can climb them. Maybe I'll have to try that out later on. But yeah, you just want to be careful you don't fall off the edge. I know with was it the Leeway Mountain one? You know, you can technically fall off the edge. Oh, this is so nice. I want to go in and see what the house looks like on the inside. Okay. I came down here, I'm like, how do I get back up? Whoosh. Let's see. I think it's like with the Adepti realm, the this is pretty cool. With the Adepti realm and the mountains for Leeway, that they do have a area hidden in fog, basically, and if you were to jump off, it would warp you back up to where you worked, and in the idea that, oh, you fell off somewhere into a bottomless pit. They don't do that in the Mondstadt or the Inazuma one because there's water. But look at this. This is very neat. Oh, it's got three, it looks like 3 rooms down here. Oh, and the door opens so you don't have to click it. Oh, look at this. And one over here. Ooh. Oh, very nice. Like house shopping. Oh, and then there's one over here, which basically seems to be about the same size, so that's good. I think this big area is definitely going to be kind of like the living room, dining room area, and then like one of these will be kitchen area. And then let's go upstairs. These cute little stairs. How many doors do we have up here? Let's see, 1. Looks like 2. I keep getting this. I keep going like, is that a door? No, that's a window. So we get one nice one up here, and then nice kind of hallways area. I never know what to do with the hallway areas, to be honest. I covered them up with carpet so they look more full, but yeah, I know with in my Inazuma, is it Inazuma Teapot? No, it's in my other one. I actually have the Inazuma bar like squished into one of these hallways, so it kind of like gives it something to do. But there we go with that. This is so neat. Okay, so let's go into here. Let me take out the indoor sets. Okay, so this is just a regular sets. Okay, here we go. Wow, there's a lot of these. Okay, so let's see. Alright, for forest patrol antidotes. That one looks pretty simple. And then let's see. Oh, it's a shop basically. Ah, it looks nice. For aroma. Oh, it's a kitchen slash dining room, or I guess you could say it's a restaurant type thing. Looks nice. Who likes that one? Oh, nobody. Oh, I guess, or I should say nobody yet, because this is supposed to be like the special area, so I guess nobody yet likes it because they haven't put them out yet. And there's Sinos. It's funny that this one is covering part of the window. Oh, and there's oh my gosh, they like a bedroom. They're like, let us sleep. Oh, that makes sense with Lila. I'm sure with Nahida, she's just like, please let me lay down. Oh, and then Candace likes this kind of library looking place. Very nice. Very nice. I like this. I like this. It's very good. It gives me something to do too, because with all my other sets, I had basically had everything. I basically had everything already more or less the way I wanted it in the other teapots. If you saw when I was jumping over, they all have pretty high numbers, but right. So let me do this to see. Oh, okay, so that's the big house, but it looks like you can decorate around it. I like how it comes down and there's the pool. Although I might twist it around technically so that this Actually, I think I'll do that right now. Put it like... Well, where's the door? Yeah, the main door's up there. I'll put it like this. I'll put it back here. Because in that way, when you kind of like come up this path, you can just be like, whoop, and you come up. Also, the warp point's here, so you just be like, do, 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 and go up. That's that. And then we have some of these very nice walkways with these very pretty flowers. Okay, so we have some pretty nice big areas, looks like. Oh, that's right. I should check out the outdoor sets too, because they have characters who like the outdoor sets as well. Okay, so what do we have here? All right, so Dory. Ah, that makes sense. It's a market-looking place. And then we have a camp. And there is, oh, of course, the theater. She likes the theater. Like I said, nobody likes this one yet, but I'm sure they will. I wonder if this one's for... It'd be funny if this one was for Scaramouche. You know. And then here's one for Candace and Lila. For the desert. I know some people were mentioning about how, oh, are we going to get a desert teapot too? Because, you know, it's like, oh, some people were... From what I could see, they were kind of talking about how, oh, the grassy one is great, but you know, Sumeru is both the jungle and the desert. So, and I think this one would look probably a little better in more desert category. But we probably could put down walkway pieces, and therefore you wouldn't see the grass between these. So you could do that, I'm sure. Traveling troops pomp. Oh, and then here's... Oh, so she likes a cute little garden. That's very nice. Oh, and then Tignari likes this very simple little area. It's very nice. Oh, the whole house is like a giant tree itself. That is definitely very big, but I like it. It is pretty. Alright, so there's that, and then we have this other kind of, it looks a little bit, maybe, I guess it was about the same size. Oh, and then we got this really giant area. So that's good to look at the areas when you're planning out things. In fact, what I should probably do... Oh, there's another pool. Oh, where's the stairway they get over there? Okay. I think what I will do before I leave here... where'd they put those things? There we go. I'll put some of these down so I can warp over to them later. That one already has one, technically. Good to put these guys down though, because when the teapot salesman arrives and all that type of stuff, if you still use him. I thought I had... Oh yeah, I did. I thought I caught one of the geocrystal flies. I did. They're just not included over here for some reason. Yeah, I kind of wonder if when we get to Shesnaya, if they're going to have... I mean, it would make sense if they had cryocrystal flies. But considering we also have them in Dragonspine, it'd be kind of interesting, excuse me. I love the little finches though. They are so cute. Especially this one. The little cockatiel looking one. Got one of these guys, these ibises, and these cute little foxes. So, but we won't put them in right now. we want to get to the story. But I like this. This is very nice. I'll have to come back later and put stuff in. Because I do have some of the stuff I built, but I have to figure out where exactly certain wood is that you can collect. Whoa. The sun just popped up there, didn't it? But there's what the flowers look like when they're open. That is very nice. It kind of gives you this feeling of being very small. But then you have things that are actually like regular size, so it's like, okay, are we small or are those things just giant? But anyway, I'll have to come back and play with this later. But it's just so fun. I love the teapot. Alrighty, so let me. Oh wow, look at that. You probably can't climb it, to be honest, but it's kind of like, I guess what's supposed to be under here is water, but obviously if you look, you're not gonna be able to jump off into the water. It's gonna be fog. But it's nice that they put these little water features in here, because I know in the, kind of curious. I'm gonna jump down here to this leaf. Oh, nope. That did not work. I thought I was gonna be able to land on it. But no, we just went right through. There's a word of advice there. No, ah! Nah. Nope. I think we're gonna get warped. Whoops. I was almost for sure we were gonna be able to land on those things. But no, we just went right through. But anyway, it's nice for them to put in these little water pool features, because in the other Teapot realm, they don't have any little water features, and so it looks very, very dry. And the other thing too about the first kind of Teapot realm too is that not only does it not have any water, but it also doesn't have a day and night cycle. It just has like a constant twilight cycle or a sunset cycle, which is perfectly okay. I mean, it's very pretty, but unfortunately, it won't let the lamps go on, so you kind of end up losing out on a bunch of stuff. Alright, so let's get out of here, though. We're gonna move on to the story. I'm going to assume that Kansas is back here in Aru Village, because it said go talk to her, so let's go over here. Oh, a new update is available. Okay, let me switch back to be right back, or I'll do it chatting while this while I refresh and go back in. I wonder if they're fixing a few little things. There's always a couple of little bugs and stuff. I mean, I hardly ever notice them in Genshin. They do a pretty good job of, you know, getting everything ready to go before they release it. But, you know, they do occasionally have a thing of, oh, that, you know, we have to fix this or we gotta fix that. Just going back with the whole Nahida pulls and everything, I was really, really happy that she came home early, because now I have those 100 fates plus that I'm going to be building up for like Al Hythem, or if I want to try to roll for Scaramouche, or or whatever. Because there's a thing saying that, like, let's see, Scaramouche is coming in 3.3, which we know from the drip marketing, and then this is what it gets kind of weird to me, because on 3.4 is supposed to be Lanternite, and yet somebody said that Al-Haytham is coming out for Lanternite. And it's kind of like, okay, well, I mean, he's part of the big story, I guess. But then they say that Baizu isn't going to come out till 3.6. And, like, 3.6 is going to be an additive to Sumeru. So it's like you're releasing a Leeway character for Sumeru, but a Sumeru character for Leeway. It's kind of weird, to be honest, at least in my opinion. But who knows? It's just rumors. People make speculations and stuff. I mean, originally people were saying that Ubaizu was going to come in 3.4, with Lanternite and everything, which would make a lot of sense, when you think about it, because hey, it's Lanternite. But then again, I do know there's a thing for China about like not talking about death or medical things during New Year's, because it's like bad luck. So it would make sense if they didn't talk about, or they didn't have Baizu, because he is a doctor. Although he is a traditional herbal pharmacist type doctor, so it's not exactly like the whole like needles and operations and type of stuff, which that's kind of more Doctori's thing. Although the more I look at Doctori, the more it seems like he's more into like mechanical stuff versus like biological. So, but we'll have to see. my game is like verifying all the files and stuff. But I like the Sumeru Teapot. It's very cute. I know it's the Teapot is one of those things where it's not for everyone, but I enjoy it. So alright, we're at 43% with the verifying. Anyway, well, while I'm thinking about that, actually, we have to look at Nahida's miscellany, with her attacks. I forgot to watch that. So let me pull it up here real quick. YouTube. I know it's kind of nice because going on to YouTube, I've been seeing a lot of videos of how like, ooh, Nahida is awesome, and Nahida is a boss, and Nahida is a must-have and stuff like that, which I like, because Nahida, she kind of had a rough thing when she was coming out, to be honest. Because I think what happened with her was there was a mistranslation error way back, and where Zhongli called the Dendro Archon he, and in at least in English, and so people were expecting the Dendro Archon to be male, and a lot of people wanted him to be an adult male. And then since Sumeru is kind of based off of like India, Egypt, South Asia type of thing, people were expecting him to be dark. And so you think about it where it's like, okay, they're expecting a tall, dark male person, and then Nahida got leaked, and she's like the complete opposite. I mean, really, you think about it, and it's like, okay, adult, child, male, female, dark, light. It's like she was the complete opposite, and so many people started having a fit because one, she was a kid, so I guess technically they couldn't ship her without being really super weird. And they also, and since she was not dark skinned, some people were like, oh my gosh, representation and racism and all this type of stuff. And so she had a hard time kind of when she came right out of the get-go, which is unfortunate. So, which was very unfortunate. But luckily, she did get better, or not she got better, but like the fandom was more nice about it when it came to her. But let's take a look now at. Okay, I'll go sit here to the lady. We can hear. I'm assuming Dainsleif's voice. There we go. All right. Yeah, because last time Alice actually did one for Dory, and she stole poor Dainsleif's job. But let's see if he got his stuff back here. Let me adjust the sound real quick for Genshin so you don't hear it in the background. Let's see, volume mixer. Turn that down. Okay, I'll fix it when we go back. All right, there we go. I have not seen this one actually before. I haven't even liked it, so let me click like. All right, here we go.
Lesser Lord Kusanali is a god unlike any other. As the god of wisdom, she has profound insight into the nature of all things, yet she has never had the opportunity to learn by doing. One may ask, how can a god possess true wisdom in the absence of lived experience? All answers can be found in dreams, and she welcomes fellow truth seekers to dream along with her.
I've been waiting for you for ages.
Over her years of confinement, Lesser Lord Kusanali has grown intensely curious about the world outside. Just through observing from afar, Nahida has learned enough to adapt to any situation. Nahida's normal attack can perform up to 4 strikes that deal dendro damage. Dendro damage. Of the enemy's hit, a certain number will be marked with the seed of Skanda. Hold her elemental skill to enter aiming mode and target enemies within a certain range. Nahida benefits from increased resistance to interruption while in this mode. Aiming mode lasts for a limited duration, and only a limited number of enemies can be selected as targets. Release the skill button to deal dendro damage to all selected enemies and mark them with a seed of Skanda. Enemies marked with a seed of Skanda and in range of each other will form a connection. When an enemy marked with a seed of Skanda triggers an elemental reaction or takes damage from dendro cores, Nahida unleashes Tri-Karma Purification, dealing dendro damage to them and all connected enemies based on Nahida's attack and elemental mastery. Tri-Karma Purification can only be triggered once per set interval. After unlocking the talent Awakening Elucidated, the crit rate and damage of Tri-Karma Purification will be increased based on the amount of Nahida's elemental mastery that exceeds a given value. Tri-Karma Purification's crit rate and damage can only be increased in this manner up to a certain amount. Nahida is always watching, listening, learning about the world around her. Nahida's elemental skill allows her to interact with certain harvestable items when they are in range. In some scenarios, it may also have other uses.
The Temple of Wisdom!
When Nahida unleashes her elemental burst, she materializes the Court of Dreams and brings forth the Shrine of Maya. The shrine provides different effects depending on the elemental types of characters in the party, as follows. If the party contains a pyro character, the damage dealt by Tri-Karma Purification will be increased when Nahida is within the Shrine of Maya's AoE. If the party contains an electro character, the interval between each Tri-Karma Purification is decreased when Nahida is within the Shrine of Maya's AoE. If the party contains a hydro character, the Shrine of Maya's duration will be extended. When the Shrine of Maya is created, if the party contains at least 2 characters of the aforementioned elemental types, their corresponding effects will receive a further boost. So long as the active party member remains within the shrine, the effects described above can be triggered even if Nahida is not on the field.
Kind of ironic with child.
Nahida freely shares her knowledge with anyone who asks, but how much of it they can comprehend depends on their own aptitude. After unlocking the talent Compassion Illuminated, when Nahida casts her elemental burst, the elemental mastery of the active character within the Shrine of Maya will be increased based on the elemental mastery of whichever party members is highest. Elemental mastery can only be increased up to a certain amount in this manner. The God of Wisdom excels both at posing questions and answering them. Combat is no different. The enemy is the conundrum, and her strategy is the solution. In battle, Nahida first targets a group of enemies with her elemental skill, using seeds of Skanda to connect them to each other. Next, she coordinates with her teammates to trigger elemental reactions, repeatedly unleashing Tri-Karma purifications as her main mode of attack. She and her team branch out across the battlefield, taking out the weeds as they go. When energy is full, Nahida unleashes her elemental burst, creating the Shrine of Maya to increase all active characters' elemental mastery, and provide additional effects depending on the elemental composition of her party.
You know, this video kind of feels a little bit like the when I was doing the Sumeru quest and I was trying to figure out about why we were stuck in the dream and stuff like that. There's so much information into it. I'm starting to kind of lose what they're talking about.
Faced with Nahida's increased dendro damage and the strengthened team around her, all who enter the Temple of Wisdom seeking conflict will soon be reunited with their home turf.
That's one way of putting it.
Humans often place gods on a pedestal, awestruck by their unfathomable power. Very few ever come to the realization that gods are not the rulers of Tevat, but merely another form of living being in this world. A god who lacks strength may have little to no advantage, even over mere mortals.
Well, of course, Daisy would say that.
Even I have no spiteful words to say about a god such as this.
At least that's nice.
I will leave her be. Perhaps the god of Dendro will continue to propagate herself for as long as Irminsul continues to exist. As for the significance of Irminsul to the whole of Tevat, I will leave that for those who are not under this world's control to discover for themselves.
At least I know Dainsleif doesn't really like the Archons, but at least he's nice to about Nahida. So there you go with that. All right, so that was pretty good, I think. All right, so let's go back to Genshin. Okay, and I'm gonna close this down to give my and I can put the sound back up. Okay. It's gotta load. But yeah, it's like there's so much stuff going on today. I can see why they don't start the event until like the first event from like 2 days till now, because it's just like there's just so much stuff that people are going to do and get through. But I kind of want to do the story today because unfortunately I'm on Twitter, and Twitter tends to leak or spoil stuff. Like you're not even you just be like scrolling along and suddenly it'll be like boom, here you go, and you're like, oh shoot, you just spoiled it for me. I do know that I heard that someone had put like Scaramouche's fighting cutscenes on TikTok, and it was like people couldn't even get away from it. And it was, luckily I don't use TikTok, but I was like, oh, that's really sad. I did see it on YouTube, but luckily I didn't click on it, and it was just still images, so I was able to not spoil myself. So at least that's good. Okay, so let me first heal. Okay, and I was assuming, oh yeah, she's here. Alright, so let's do this. Even if I don't do the whole thing today, it would be nice to get it started. From what I saw from the Scaramouche fight, though, I'm like, I have no idea how I'm going to even handle that. Yeah, I haven't finished the quest with these dudes yet.
Candace, we're here! Has everyone arrived?
Yep, we're gonna go, as Sino says, we're gonna go save our god. Save Nahida.
Everyone is already waiting inside.
Oh, great, so we're late. Candace is so pretty. I did have her. In fact, I actually rolled trying to, when I was trying, on seat, she showed up on Sino's banner, and I was rolling for her specifically, and I ended up spending like 125 something fates before she showed up. One copy of her. One. So anybody who ever says, oh, the 4 stars are so much easier to get than the 5 stars, no, they're not.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's join them!
Please, wait a moment.
Uh-oh.
Before attending the meeting, I hope you can promise me one thing.
Okay.
What do you need?
Promise me that you won't commit to anything too reckless.
Aw. She cares so much about us. She's like a big sister or a mom. She's so caring.
What do you think?
Sure, I'll try not to. And I was like, I don't want to fight with anybody. I don't want to do anything reckless. I mean, when you think about it, just as a little side thing, with the poor traveler, you know, their whole goal, okay, was to find their sibling, okay? And in order to do that, they knew that the sibling had been taken away by the unknown god. And that's why they want to go around talking to the Archons. Because 1, to see if the unknown god is any of them, and 2, if she is none of them, which of course obviously she's probably not going to be, then at least hopefully getting information about her from the other gods. What is kind of weird to me though is that like we've talked to 3 of them so far, and like none of them seem to know who the unknown god is. I'm kind of like Lumine, did you or Lumine/Ether, like, did you guys draw a picture or something? You know, to ask Albeda for help in drawing this picture and showing it around these gods? Because I mean, even if you don't know her names, you should be able to show them a picture and them to go, oh yeah, that's so and so. I mean, unless she's an alien or something, but we'll have to see. Anyway.
Okay.
Alright. We will try to be good. And we're gonna take a picture of Kez. I like I said, I do have her, but it's, oh, I blinked. It's just neat to see them in the.
They're all waiting for you.
Yep, I know. Yeah, my only disappointment with Candace is that I know she's like a guardian of the village and everything, so she has to stay there. But like, she stayed there the entire time. I mean, she didn't even like wander out with us into the desert or anything. It was just, nope, she's staying here, and that's it. But anyway, what I was saying about with the traveler and things, it's like technically. Oh look, there's a quest over there. Technically, it was one of those things where if everything had worked out for them, it should have been okay. Them go, they go. They talk to Venti. He says, "Oh no, your brother or sister is in another castle." Then you move on, and so on and so forth until you basically get to the end, and so and that type of thing. But the problem is that every place we go into is having some sort of problem. So even when they want to help us, they're like, "I'm sorry, we're really too busy right now." You know, like we're really too busy right now. We can't, and which is understandable. I mean, like you look at Mondstadt, and they were in the middle of fighting a dragon, so and who's trying to kill everybody. So it's like it's understandable. And I know even like with Jean, when she talks to us in the beginning, she makes a mention about how I wish we could help you more instead of just putting up missing persons posters. Like she feels so frustrated that she can't help us because of, because of the whole Dvalin / Storm Terror thing. But the only problem with all this stuff is that we basically are saving these people's countries, and all they can really say is, I don't know, go talk to so and so. It's like they kind of pass the buck type of idea, which isn't their fault, obviously. I mean, if they don't know anything, they don't know anything. But, I mean, I think they do all kind of mention about like, oh, well, we'll keep an eye out and stuff like that. But then you never really ever hear from them again on that aspect. And I think if it's one of those things of to smooth out the story in that aspect, I think it would be nice if like every time we go back to those places, for like events or something, like if we end up running into the Archon, which we usually do, they say something like, well, I was looking around and I found this thing, and it's like one little piece of information. But like we've gotten more information from Dainsleif than we have from any of the Archons. So it ends up being a little bit of a problem because, I mean, the Lumi / Ether are good people, and they seem to be pretty much willing to help people if there's actual real need and stuff like that. But on the other hand, it's like we're going through so much garbage, and it's like we hardly get anything. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're gonna finish up this story quest, and Nahida is gonna be like, "I'm sorry, I don't really know. Go to Fontaine." But I guess that's not part of the story. I mean, it's one of those things of if the world wasn't in peril for us to save it, there'd be nothing to do. So let's continue saving the world.
Everyone's here so early! But why isn't anybody talking?
Yeah, it's like Paimon who hates silence.
We already discussed things a bit.
Hey, where have you been? I've missed you too.
Hi, dear.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Very well.
Are you sure this is gonna work?
Uh-oh. I don't like it though when they do the whole, oh, we worked out a detailed plan, and then they don't tell us, the player, what the plan is. So it's basically we're going into it blind. So it's like Lumine or Ether weren't even listening to the plan.
I gotta admit, it's bold. Color me impressed.
It's worth a try. The point of discussion is to arrive at a solution. Let's cut the small talk and move to the next point.
What small talk?
You're making Paimon nervous.
It's kind of funny when they talk about how like Sino is supposed to be the one that makes everybody nervous, but like when you put him next to Alhaitham, it's like Alhaitham seems to be more imposing to me. Maybe it's because he's taller and musclier, but loading screen. Oh,
You're finally done.
and we're outside again. And there they go. It's like, okay, and of course we're not going to be told the plan.
I have some other stuff to take care of. Catch you all later.
Could catch you all later. Like, they all left us. Uh-oh.
Come on, don't give me that face. I know what you're going to say. I'll be careful.
Yeah, I mean, I know all the basically most of the shipping in this game is just subtext and things, and you kind of have to, like, they're never actually going to come out and say it, but I'm pretty sure something's going on between Dea and Candace. It's just, they have too much interaction for them to be, you know, possibly not dating.
That's what I wanted to hear. Take care.
Also, too, she sends a single Dea out a lot when it comes to, you know, caring about her and stuff like that. Like, she doesn't do that for Sino or Al-Haitham, so it's interesting.
Well, traveler, Paimon, judging from your expressions, the meeting must have been quite productive.
Yes, but I still don't know the plan.
You can tell?
I'm not that good at scheming or strategy, but I can sense people's emotions. And based on your reaction, things must have gone quite well.
Oh, that's nice. Yep. Yeah, she's a good lady. I really like her. We'll make our move on the next Inagarbode.
Paimon's a little worried. Hopefully nothing will go wrong.
Don't jinx us. You're gonna jinx us.
To be honest, I feel the same. But you're already some of the most capable people I know. So you have my trust.
Yay. We trust you too, Candace.
Candace gave us a compliment.
Yay.
Your
I agree with
deeds
that.
speak for themselves.
Candace, we stayed behind to tell you that, although you won't be coming with us, we'll be sure to remember your words.
Yeah, see, here's another the thing is that she's still left there, which, like I said, it's her duty and stuff, but I mean, like, she never leaves.
I'm very glad to hear that.
I mean, she didn't even come with us into the desert. Give me a second. Oh, gotta adjust a little bit, but yeah, which is kind of sad. But the thing is, since she's a 4-star, we might end up getting a hangout event with her eventually, so that might be kind of fun.
I've said the same thing to everyone here today as I said to you when you arrived. Your safety is the most important thing.
That's a good reminder, I'll say, because a lot of times we end up the traveler gets pushed into things like war and other things, and so we end up having that whole problem.
Only when you're safe can the plan be successful. So please, take care.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you for taking my advice.
We'll remember it.
Good luck. With everything. I'll be here in the village praying for you.
It's okay, Candace. We'll be fine. I mean, if the traveler dies here, that'll be the end of the story.
Stay safe, everyone.
Will do.
I'll be here, praying for you. Good luck.
Yep, you take care of what you need to. Alright, so meet up with Al-Haitham. Where is he? We gotta follow where he went. Oh, there he is. Oh, he's talking to that the Eremite chief guy.
Sounds good. I'll go make some preparations.
Okay.
I'll hit them.
Have you finished saying your goodbyes?
Well, don't make it sound like we're never coming back here.
Yeah. Also, Candace told everyone to be careful.
Yes, she did. But I think my point also bears repeating.
Uh-oh.
Our plan is not child's play. We won't be able to achieve anything if we're simply careful. We must go beyond that and fully commit ourselves to it.
That's true, but on the other hand, don't be throwing yourself in the way, okay?
I hope this is clear to you.
Yep.
Huh? Shouldn't you be saying something more cheerful to boost our morale right now?
For what I've seen from Al-Haytham, he's not exactly, cheerful go-go guy, so...
Didn't we already do that during the meeting?
You can never have enough words of encouragement.
In that case, Candace can cuddle you to your heart's content while I continue to remind you of the seriousness of our situation.
Yeah, Al-Haytham definitely seems like a very serious, almost pessimistic type guy. I think Candace can cuddle you. It's like, I remember when Al-Haytham first kind of came out, or at least was shown, people kind of made up a relationship between him and Nahida of Nahida basically being like the princess he protected and he being her knight. But throughout going through this, I mean, it's clear that that's not what the type of relationship they have. I mean, he apparently doesn't even know her. And that was, to me, it was kind of disappointing because I wanted him to have some sort of, at least a little bit soft side, but he does not seem to have a soft side at all. And considering he's supposed to be a Sue XP and Sue was very kind and very gentle, at some point it's almost disappointing, to be honest. But hey, he is what he is, I guess.
We all have our jobs to do after all. It's like how some people can be put in charge of logistics while others will fight on the front lines.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Speaking of the front lines, you don't look anything like a soldier.
Paimon, are you looking at the same guy I am? He looks pretty fit to me.
Of course. Compared to the mercenaries, I'm merely a feeble scholar.
Dude, you got more muscles than Ito. I don't think you're feeble.
But the advantage of not being a mercenary is that I get to stay in a safer place and offer my strategic insight.
Mm-hmm.
Just think about that mercenary who lost his mind. Mercenary groups are facing constant danger every single day.
Yeah, that was pretty spooky.
Well, being a scholar is also a high-risk occupation, and you are a scholar.
That's true.
I'm not like the rest of them. Even among members of the same species, some will exhibit far more potential than others.
Wow. I mean, he's right, but on the other hand, yeah, this guy is very, very tough.
This guy. Paimon still remembers when those mercenaries in Port Ormos called you a lunatic.
This guy, as I just repeat what I said.
All intellectuals are lunatics in the eyes of fools. I'll take that as a compliment. That reminds me. Do you remember the record we saw in the King Deshret ruins? It mentioned forbidden knowledge.
Yes, I remember. Sorry, I don't remember anymore. Yeah, I remember that.
You have a good memory.
Thanks.
Forbidden knowledge has the power to drive people insane, but this fact has never been shared with the public. Even I, who has worked in the academia for some time, was never once informed of this.
That's the thing is, though, forbidden knowledge, forbidden by who? I mean, I have a feeling Celestia has some sort of cover-up. I kind of also wonder if we're ever actually going to go there and have it be like a place where we can hang out, kind of, because, or if it's just going to be like, oh, you went up there once to do a big battle or something, and then you got warped back and you never could actually get up there again.
I think those mad scholars and mercenaries we encountered may have all fallen victim to the corrupting qualities of forbidden knowledge.
Because that's the thing too, is like, like, forbidden knowledge. It's like, what exactly could be in it that's forbidden? I mean, unless you're like being something like, I know one of the theories is that Celestia is actually not the gods, they're actually aliens or something, and and that they're not really even supposed to be in this world or something. That's a theory that someone came up with. So the only forbidden knowledge I can think of is that them knowing that these people that the Celestia are aliens or some other thing, because even with something that's like really horrible, you know, it's not considered forbidden, you know, like you can't know about it. It's just something that is like people don't want to think about. But anyway, moving on.
But the academia has always held a different view. They've always believed that symptoms of madness are a side effect of human contact with divine knowledge as mere mortals.
Yeah, that's a problem. You're putting Sumeru in the crosshairs of Celestia.
Come to think of it, perhaps the academia has also never understood the true nature of forbidden knowledge, and thus always approached the issue from the wrong direction.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past them.
The Withering, Elazar, and the Sandstorms. Don't you think what is happening right now across Sumeru is rather similar to the forbidden knowledge pollution that occurred in the desert thousands of years ago?
Mm-hmm. But Paimon thought that Irminsul's disease is what caused the withering and the sandstorms. At least, that's what Tainari told us. Wait a second. Could it be that?
Ah, you've connected the dots. The cause of Irminsul's illness may precisely be the pollution from forbidden knowledge.
Oh yeah, that definitely sounds about right.
But if that's the case, what should we do? This is huge!
Wait. Why do you think Lesser Lord Kusanali would have a solution to this situation?
Yes, she said the key to saving Irmisville is contained within the remaining consciousness of the greater Lord Rukkhadevata. Yeah, this is the traveler options. Like, it's not actually an option, it's just, you know, a continued written aspect.
You mean it's related to the scene you saw when you passed out in the Avidia forest? That whole the world forget me thing?
Yep, we're going back to that.
In that case, it's imperative that we rescue Lesser Lord Kusanali. Only by working with her to save Irminsul can we completely resolve the problems Sumeru currently faces.
Yes, we're gonna go save that little girl.
To make sure we're still on track, I would like to check on the state of some of our preparatory work.
Okay.
Where are we going?
To an Eremite base.
The work's there? Okay. You say so. I kind of expected us to go right back to Sumeru and start busting down the door, but if he wants us to go to the base, I guess we go to the base. Let's do some warping, because I think with when I play Genshin, if the directive or the spot we need to go to is like more than 300 M's away, then it's kind of like okay, this is a good point to warp, because because more than 300 could be crossing mountains, it could be crossing rivers, it could be crossing giant lakes, whatever, and it makes it harder to get there. I think these are friendly, so we don't have to worry about fighting. Wonder, yeah, I don't think Nahida can read the minds of just non. Yeah, no, she can. I didn't think she could, but like she probably read the mind of this guy.
Hey.
Oh, it's a happy smiley face.
Whatever the boss says.
Oh. Oh, I probably should have used that on Candace now that I think about it.
You made it.
doing here?
I gave them some technical work to do.
Oh. I will say though, Alhaitham's outfit is really cool looking. I mean, all of these different patterns and things, it's nice. Maybe when Alhaitham becomes playable and we get his story quests, or maybe he'll soften up a little once things get nicer or more calm. He just seems so serious to me.
Ah, it's the scribe. And is that the traveler I see?
Hello.
How's the work going?
You guys?
Ah, yes. We have fixed the devices according to your instructions. One of them is already ready for use, while the others are still under repair.
That thing is kind of spooky looking. I mean, it's cool, but it also can be kind of spooky looking. But I guess the whole point of it is to pull knowledge out of somebody's head and apparently leave them a vegetable. So that's kind of scary.
Aren't those devices for canned knowledge extraction? What are you doing with those?
Look here.
Huh? More canned knowledge? Are you going to put more weird stuff into her head again?
What's that look on your face? Are you scared?
Oh, he actually smiled. That's kind of nice.
Paimon's a little scared, but very, very furious.
Oh, she's mad. She's mad for us.
That's an interesting response. Anyway, we're not going to use this just yet. As I mentioned during the meeting, this knowledge capsule contains a decree I drew up in the past. The academia should also have their own copy. And according to the plan we just came up with, Traveler, I want you to record something into this capsule. Do you believe we can save Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Yes I do. What I may lack in faith, I'll make up with my actions. Yes, I do.
Good. Conviction is the most important part of all of this.
I'm gonna do it.
Now, please get ready and put on this device.
It's like, yeah, Alhaitham, you're lucky I kinda trust you.
You want us to record our conviction into the knowledge capsule?
Yes.
Okay.
Paimon is still really worried.
I understand, but trust me, Paimon, this is something we have to do. It's best if you can do as I say.
I don't know. Alhaitham has been kind of flippy. I mean, he's never, I don't think, actively betrayed us, but like, when it gets down to him explaining things, he does kind of like I don't have to explain anything to you. It's like, dude, you're not exactly helping get anybody on your side.
Because, to achieve this impossible task, it sounds like you'll need to fool your own heart first. Although it may feel like a trick, self-encouragement may be the most important tool we have.
Okay, that's kind of interesting.
Paimon can see the point you're trying to make.
Imagine this. We have orchestrated our plan and successfully rescued Lesser Lord Kusanali. As a result, we have changed Sumeru's entire political landscape. Everything went without a hitch, and everyone recognizes and praises our achievements. Now, open your eyes.
Okay.
Here.
What's this?
Read it out loud. It's done.
Fascinating experience. Yeah.
Is your head okay? Does anything hurt?
Considering that she blacked out from the incense before, I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if she does go to. She seems to faint like in almost every thing we go to.
It's just a recording. There should be no negative effects.
That's good.
But what was the point of doing this? Paimon doesn't get it.
Oh, I'm sure it'll become useful later.
And that's perfectly fine. In any case, these capsules aren't meant to be used by you.
Okay.
Huh? What do you mean?
Have you forgotten? Our plan needs to account for those who have long relied on the Akasha.
That's true.
You may find it hard to believe, but for those people, everything the Akasha transmits to them is nothing short of absolute truth.
Oh. Now I kind of see what's going on.
Imagine if you've been using a device like the Akasha since the day you were born, and this device has always supported you during times of need.
It's like he's talking about Wi-Fi.
After all that time, what do you think you'd become?
Oh. Definitely relying on it. This is the weird thing too, because apparently the Akasha is being controlled by the Gnosis. And considering that the Fatui have gotten every Gnosis so far, even when we don't think they have gotten it, it's like they're gonna get the Gnosis and the Akasha is gonna go down, and all these people are gonna be freaking out.
A fool? A machine?
A slave to orders.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why rules are so important.
I will say Al-Haytham is very attractive, though.
In addition, those who understand the rules can delineate boundaries and identify gray areas.
And we're having this kind of private conversation, and this guy over here is just watching us. I mean, he is dead set watching and listening into our conversation.
But why would you need to identify the gray areas?
You could say that those kinds of ambiguous zones can be very interesting. One might even say they're advantageous in the right hands.
Okay.
Things you're interested in are really out there. Are all Sumeru scholars like this?
It's like you, Lumine's like, I don't know.
Anyway, that's enough chit-chat.
Okay.
I'm going to take those two to work on some small projects. You can head to Caravan Rebot and start preparing for the next step.
Okie dokie.
Small projects?
We're going to tinker with the Akasha terminal and make a few modifications.
Uh-oh. Well, I mean, considering that Doctori had done that too, and he basically almost took over people's bodies type of thing, that's... Oh, that was kind of spooky, actually. Meet up with Sino. Yeah, it's like, I know you were watching, sir. You have no name, but I know you know.
Everyone hold hands.
We're just temporary partners, but since the boss gave the word, I guess I'll look after them for a bit.
Oh. Yeah, sure. Alrighty. Yeah, because this is what I was talking about. Because like, if it was like 300, that you'd be like over here. But since you have to go all the way up here, you'd end up, even if you skirt around this way, you'd still be having to walk quite a while. So we're just gonna warp. It's one of the things I always kind of suggest to anybody who's a new player, to make sure when you get to a new area, go around and unlock all of the warp points, or as many as you can in an area before you start the story. Because, I mean, if you want a more realistic one, then you can walk the whole thing, but, you know, it's just easier to unlock the wave points and then teleport. I kind of wonder too if her thing works on everybody or if it's just Sumeru. Like, can she go and like read Gloria's...
Hey,
researchers this timid? Let's go check it out.
Are all historians this obsessed with getting to the bottom of things?
Like that is funny.
I thought we agreed on a plan. How can you go back on your word?
Oh boy.
The plan is too radical and carries a high risk for casualties. I've given it a lot of thought. And in the end, I still can't agree to it.
But it's still the best plan we have. As a former Matra, you of all people should be able to see the bigger picture and recognize the innate advantages of our plan.
Dude, he just said there's gonna be a lot of casualties. It's like, maybe it should be the other way around here.
I did. And that's how I saw the danger behind these so-called advantages. Alhatham's plan is even more radical than I imagined.
Those two do not get along.
Huh? Why are you guys arguing?
No, it's like, we don't have time for this.
My friend, you're just in time. Why don't you help me persuade Sino? He's turned against our plan.
We agreed to work out a plan at the meeting. As mercenaries, you're familiar with the local environment, so you'll take care of the specifics. But then, you went to Alhatham for suggestions. Had I known Alhatham would give you those kinds of suggestions, I would not have agreed to the plan.
Oh, gosh. These two.
Look, you already know that we're all on the same side here, don't you?
Mercenaries place a lot of importance on their bonds of friendship, but also will not hesitate to make sacrifices if they deem the situation to be sufficiently dire. I'm sorry, but as things stand, I can't accept your principles.
Okay.
Seems you really do understand the ways of the desert.
Traveler, Paimon, this is also something you should know. Ramon's plan is to have me work with the Caravan Reebok guards in my capacity as a Matra. We will arrest the mercenaries and escort them into Sumeru City.
Okay.
Wait, how can we work with the guards?
We can't get through that wall easily, remember? Caravan Reebok would never let so many unregistered members of the Eremites enter Sumeru City.
Well, if they're talking about the wall that's behind us, it's not exactly a super wall. It's more of like bits of wall. So, I mean, you technically could just skirt around it.
My plan
Or
will
skirt
clear
through
us
it.
of any possible suspicion, and also let us enter the city as a big group. There is no better way.
I don't know.
That also sounds like something Alhatham told you. Am I right?
Doesn't Alhatham know how dangerous this plan is?
Of course he does. He told me, there is no perfect plan, but this can get the job done.
Seriously, we need a Yato. I remember when people were trying to figure out what a Yato had been doing. It's implied that he's the one that helped get the rebels into Inazuma City after we fought with Signora and we were leaving the Gokuden or whatever. So Kazuha and Goro were there to defend us and everything, and then we broke out of our blue screen of our heroic blue screen of death and turned around and fought the Raiden Shogun. So like we need his help to get these guys in here.
He also said that with the help of Sino and the Traveler, our chance of success would increase significantly. I never blindly trust anyone, and I've always had a good eye for people. I think he made a number of valid points. It's my own choice to trust you.
If I make the arrests alone, I can control myself and prevent you from getting hurt. But I can't guarantee that kind of discipline from the guards.
Yeah, considering that they're already kind of prejudiced / racist against the desert people on top of all that. Although like, the guards I think are Eremites too, but there's like different groups, so it's kind of hard to tell.
To make the whole thing more convincing, You'll need to resist to some degree. Casualties are inevitable once push comes to shove. I'm okay with the deaths of enemies. But now that we're allies, I'm against the meaningless loss of our own.
Well, that makes sense. And he thinks that's funny.
I can't believe a Matra would actually care about us. I've lived a hard life, and I can say that people like you are hard to come by.
Didn't Sino come from the desert though? So they're technically kind of the same. So
I've always treated my allies with honesty and respect. They have the right to know important things like this.
Now you're making this hard for me.
Hey, is there something we can do to help?
yeah, I can help. I know what I'm doing.
I knew you would say that.
We can help fight some of the mercenaries, which should reduce the number of times you'll have to struggle directly with the guards. That should help at least a little bit.
Sino, on behalf of my people, I thank you for your kindness. But this is a mission we cannot turn our backs on. We strongly value the lives of our friends, but the goal we're about to achieve is even more important.
Well, the thing is, it's like at least this guy isn't against us anymore.
We have no fear of casualties, because we crave the spoils of victory. So please, lend us your support. We will show you the determination of us desert dwellers.
Okay.
Well, now that you've put it that way, I can no longer refuse.
So this whole thing, we had this whole conversation just to get to this point.
But remember, you need to follow the plan and not do anything reckless. Candace made it very clear that we can only achieve our goals if we can ensure our safety.
Well, I mean, she's right too, because it's like if you get hurt or you get killed, it's like you can't exactly save Kusanali if we're, dead. So
Since you and I both recognize the significance of this operation, there should be no more animosity between the followers of the Dendro Archon and those of King Deshret. Everyone's life is equally important.
yeah, this is interesting when he said King Deshret, because before they were all talking about the Scarlet King, and then they'd put King Deshret in little words and stuff like that, and people were like, why do you keep? It's like, why don't they just say his name, right? Why do you have to keep doing the Scarlet King and that type of stuff? And it looks like they are jumping to the just using his name.
Okay, you have a deal. Let's do this for our shared dream.
Okay. Oh boy.
The guards should be stationed in the courtyard nearby. You can find them there.
This actually feels kind of familiar.
Because things are so, ergo.
I don't remember exactly why though.
Guards!
Ah,
General Mahamatra, to what do we owe the honor?
I kind of like this guy with the lighter hair. He's kind of cute.
Keep your voice down.
Oh, shh.
This is a secret operation. I'm going to arrest a large criminal gang near this location. According to the Academia's Guide and Regulations on Secret Operations, I have the right to ask for the cooperation of Caravan Rebot.
Ah, of course, of course. Mahamatra Sino's order is the Academia's order. Just let us know what you need.
Didn't Sino kind of get, or he said he personally exiled himself, so I guess he didn't technically get fired.
But who exactly are you planning to arrest, and how many people are you expecting? Depending on the scale of this operation, we may need to report it to our superiors.
They're a squad of Eremites whose number is comparable to Ain el Akhmar in Port Ormos. They're involved in the theft and resale of supplies from the Academia.
As many as Ain al Akhmar? This should definitely be classified as a joint operation.
It's probably a lot of guys.
Then I suggest that you report this to your superiors as soon as possible, and treat it as a top priority desert operation. I will need personnel.
Got it. Please wait a moment. I'll contact them immediately.
I guess it helps that Sino is like the big boss when it comes to that. It looks like commanding when you're working.
Because this is work.
It is work. More friendly. Well, I guess a little bit.
Because I trust you.
Oh, well, thanks.
Paimon can't believe you're still in the mood to chat. This whole thing has Paimon scared stiff.
It'll be okay.
Aren't you even a little worried? What if these guards already know that you have betrayed the Academia and are no longer their General Mahamatra?
Well, I mean, technically...
Even if that guard doesn't know, their superiors might, right?
We discussed this, remember? The Caravan Rebot operation is of great importance. But don't worry, the guards there shouldn't know that Sino has stepped down.
How can you be so sure?
First, the other Matras still don't know why Sino has left, which proves that the Academia has been covering up the matter.
Second, this is a crucial moment for the Academia's God creation plan. If something were to happen to the General Mahamatra, it's bound to attract a lot of unwanted attention.
Yeah, so they're busy with Scaramouche.
No matter how you look at it, they don't seem interested in sharing the news of Sino's departure. A reasonable inference. I agree.
Oh, actually agree on something.
Which brings us to our next issue. I'm sure some of you have been wondering if the prediction function of the Akasha will affect our operation. The Akasha is still in operation, so I must remain on high alert.
Right, yeah, because it's tracking him.
Actually, considering the power of the Akasha, it's quite strange that it hasn't already tried to interfere with my actions.
Doesn't he have it turned off, though?
I've given that a lot of thought. For now, I don't think you'll need to worry. If you remember, when you first came to Aru Village, all your actions and routes were predicted by the Akasha. It even gave that information to those who kidnapped the village keepers. But things like that never happened again after we met up with the Traveler. That's true. But why?
That's my question. I'm pretty sure it's not the power of our protagonist position.
Look at it from a different angle. Why do you think the Akasha will predict your actions? Because my personal data has been entered into the Akasha.
Which, I mean, that's gotta be, you know, what do they call it? Against privacy?
That's true, but the key to this question is, how well can the Akasha make predictions about a person? Haven't you ever thought about it? Just how can it do this in the first place? Because the Akasha controls the entirety of Sumeru.
Yeah, but it's just Wi-Fi.
The Academia firmly believes that all human actions can be explained through logic. By sorting and analyzing entered data, the Akasha can derive behavioral logic and predict the actions of those who fit an existing logic model.
Okay.
However, at the risk of sounding like an advocate for fallacies, can everyone truly be considered logical at all times?
No.
Emotions are part of our behavioral logic, but can you guarantee that every experience of the same joy or pain would be equally intense? How can our feelings and opinions be predictable down to the letter in every single instance? Sino, in the past, you've always worked alone. In the absence of another person who could sway you or your thoughts, the Akasha could produce predictions that were similar to your real-life behavioral principles.
That is true.
Decisive and principled, you were used to solving problems alone. That's why the Akasha could figure you out.
That makes sense.
But now, you've joined a team. And I believe the Akasha hasn't yet figured out the full composition of it. Our thoughts and logic have intermingled and weaved themselves together to become a complicated, chaotic mess. Any one of us could potentially disagree with another. The Akasha lacks data on these interactions, and it's impossible for it to predict your actions in the future based on your decisions in the past. After all, there's probably a limit to just how much we can be modeled or controlled by data. So, in my opinion, you're probably safe for now.
Okay.
Makes sense to me. I agree. The Akasha is not alive, and I don't think we can be completely controlled by something without a mind of its own.
Except there was that time where we got sucked into a dream world for like over 50 days, apparently. So, there's that.
Is that so?
Unfortunately, like, the Akasha is not alive, but the sages who were using it are.
I guess there are things that even the Akasha cannot calculate, and people will not be forever trapped by the past.
Thanks to us.
I'm so glad that this is settled.
Next time, pay attention during our meetings.
Will do.
Just remember to stay vigilant.
Footsteps!
She's so jumpy.
General Mahamatra, we were not expecting your presence here.
Hello.
I'm the security officer of the Grand Deshret Desert District. My name is Luxembarbo.
Oh, hi.
This is my assistant, the Traveler. She will be working with me. The construct next to her is for her work.
Uh-oh! The construct? Oh, poor Paimon.
Beep! Construct! Beep!
Oh my gosh! This is funny. I'm surprised Paimon actually didn't freak out about it.
What a great honor to meet you. Your golden hair is as bright as the sun. And, is this the latest technology from the Academia?
Nice to meet you too.
Have you made a decision regarding the matter I mentioned to your subordinate?
It seems to be a dire situation, so of course you will have our full cooperation. To be perfectly honest, I've always longed to go on a mission with someone as well known as yourself.
There's no need for flattery.
Yes, sir.
Take your most elite platoon and follow me to the eastern side of the district. We will carry out the operation there.
Understood.
Map.
Map.
Hurry, bring the map.
In 2 days, we will engage Rahman's Eremites and capture all of them.
Yeah. I mean, this does make sense because up until recently, Rahman's Eremites were a problem because they were all talking about, bringing back the Scarlet King, and we're gonna sacrifice, the scholars and stuff like that. So it makes sense that they would be a good target to be arrested.
Any questions about the time or location?
None at all, sir.
Good. See you then.
Yes, sir.
It's funny. They leave their own base.
Maybe hanging around the General Mahamatra isn't so bad after all. Everyone's so respectful towards us.
Yeah.
This is all due to the absolute authority of the Academia. And now, we're going to strike back against that massive pillar of power.
Good.
Get ready. We will move out in 2 days.
Oh boy. Okay. Yep, and then wait until the appointed time 2 days later. So. Alright. Well. Let's see. We have been streaming for about 4 hours. So I think it is good time to take a break. I hope you all have fun playing through the story as well and finding out all the secrets and going and saving Nahida. And thank you so much for coming and watching the stream. And if you are watching this on YouTube, which I'm going to upload it to, I hope you leave a like and a comment and perhaps subscribe. Yay. And I will be airing some other things. Next one, I will probably be streaming a little bit more between now and, like, let's say the stream for 3.3, but And then, but I definitely am going to be doing more polls later on. Definitely, whenever Baizu shows up, definitely gonna be doing a poll for him. So that's gonna be pretty amazing, and a bunch of stuff for that. So, well, thank you so much for coming, and see you later. See you guys later. Bye.